A very good afternoon to you, and welcome to the first T20 between South Africa and Sri Lanka of this tour, one of three that are going to happen this weekend. The news is that South Africa have won the toss and are going to bat first and are walking out in front of a depressingly empty Colombo Stadium. This COVID nonsense can be over. Welcome to Anis Mohammed and Chris Tindabus.
Howdy.
We're a bit
talk about today. The fact that we have no competition on our broadcast because the test is not going to happen in Manchester, which is such a pity because I honestly thought last weekend's test was some of the most enjoyable test match cricket I've ever watched in my life. And we're going to chat about, I'm sure, the squad announcement that happened yesterday for South Africa. For the T20, so lots and lots of things to get our teeth into. I'm going to ask Anis if you can do ball by ball just to get ourselves started while I deal with some other stuff. And we'll have fun.
Cool.
Awesome.
I can try to go through the approximate 11s if people are interested in knowing who's playing. So the South African side, we were wondering if we'd see George Linder. It would be funny if he doesn't get picked for the World Cup and then he's back in the side again. But no, he's not there. We're opening with Reza Hendricks, Quinton de Kock. Then we've got our third opener, Adam Akram. Obviously, Temba Bavuma is out, back in South Africa injured. Then Heinrich Klaas and David Miller. Dwayne Pretorius back in the side after that extended break. Keshav Maharaj on debut and as captain, the first South African to do that since Graham Smith. Kagiso Rabada, Bjorn Fortuin, Anrich Nortje and Sarah Shamsi round out the South African side. And then Sri Lanka's side on paper does actually look quite strong with the Vishka Fernando and Dinesh Chandimal at the top order. Banuka Rajapaksa has been given another go for whatever reason. He had a rotten ODI series. Asalanka, who had a very good ODI series, and Dhananjaya De Silva in at 4 and 5. Shanaka, the captain's in at 6. Wanindu Hasaranga, the RCB man's at 7. Jamaica Karunaratne, not Dimith Karunaratne, at 8. Dashmunta Chamira at 9. Mahesh Tikshana, who ripped South Africa apart in that third ODI at 10. And Akila Dhananjaya will be batting 11. So I think we do have a bit of a game on our hands here. I think South Africa,
I think it's good.
We have a pretty good recent T20 record, but now we are playing Sri Lanka on at least a different pitch to that third ODI by the looks of it. That would have been a disaster. That's what I would have done if that Sri Lanka had that choice. Just throw us on that same pitch, get Tikshana to open the bowling and have the game over.
And rip us apart again,
Yeah.
Chamira is now at the top of his run-up, ready to run in, and he's running in to Quinton de Kock for the first ball. There's the release. Stroked straight to mid-off. Batted away to extra cover for no run. The mid-off batted away to extra cover.
Isn't it absolutely lovely to have Quinny back in our side? Isn't it?
It makes a huge difference to the batting lineup. It just gives you that feeling of stability, especially with our usual captain Temba Bavuma out injured with a fractured hand because of some mind games that he started. To be fair, from the ODI series.
So we've got a couple of tweets in. Josie Oak saying, when do you start? We start straight away right now, Josie Oak.
Chamira in for the second ball. Whooped away to square leg. 4-4. Great shot from Quinton de Kock. Not taking any nonsense from anyone. And this is a great start for Quinton de Kock. Second ball in, 4 for no loss.
I really enjoyed that.
Off the mark. Sorry.
It did sound like you were roasting Quinton de Kock when you went, brilliant shot, not wasting any time.
I've learned from our former president.
Chepo Taylor on our YouTube says, let's go, which is better than Rosie Oaks, you're doomed.
Chamira in for the third ball. Quinton de Kock steps across.
No.
And beats everything, misses everything. He's a bit frustrated with himself. He saw ball, he didn't hit ball, which goes against the principle of his batting life. And it is a dot ball. third ball stepping right across.
Third ball of your return. You're either going to get bowled off stump walking across, or you're just going to shovel it straight to the keeper. That wasn't great.
Exactly. Well, we know. Well, okay, I don't want to. Yeah. I'll say that Chris normally is the one that roasts Quinton de Kock. So I'm just gonna leave that to him.
I'm positive about Quinton de Kock, except the one thing he is.
Jamira in for the fourth ball. Oh, whipped away again. A huge appeal for LBW. So he missed it. And are they gonna go up? They're not gonna go up. Quinton de Kock looks puzzled.
Well, Quinton always looks puzzled. I think
we do have a review. Is the conclusion?
Oh, they're going up. Okay. They're going up.
They have gone up. So this was. Yeah. I think this is going to be probably umpire's call as to pitched outside leg. I think that's where we're going to be.
Oof.
And it is. Oh, that's close.
Short looks good. Hey, this is off.
It's a bit high. It's a bit high.
You think so?
Above the knee roll. Yeah. Umpire's call.
Yeah, no inside.
But we cannot trust this director's DRS, because there was one that looked absolutely dead and they said it was missing, and it was a very full ball from Imran Tahir.
Simon's first
pitched outside leg is fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, pitched outside leg.
You can carry on umpiring all the cricket that you do, Simon. Killer umpire.
In Simon we trust.
Sheesh, it's an unforgiving job here. I mean, you cannot make friends as an umpire. There's no doubt. Yeah. I was telling you what happened is I'll use the royal we. Guerrilla Cricket SA, Guerrilla SA tweeted out that because the BCCI valued IPL silliness over Test match cricket, we are the only game in town this afternoon. So therefore, please listen to us. Yada yada yada. If you are listening to us now, you've followed that instruction. So well done. I'll tell you what Leia had to say about that.
Shamira in for the fifth ball, and it is another appeal outside off. I think Quinton de Kock hit the ground, but Sri Lanka is appealing 142 k's an hour. Shamira is quick.
This is not a great start.
Timer again.
I guess they're not going to burn both of them in the first over.
Yeah.
Even if you're convinced, I think that you've got that.
You see, this is why you need a bowling captain, because he would have gone for it. Can you imagine if Vernon Philander was the captain?
I know Vernon would. Vernon Philander is second only to Stuart Broad.
You'd have to remove his other hand so he can't play on the team. Just leave him with his bowling hand.
It's a divot out of the ground, and
definitely didn't look after it.
Yeah, no. I think he did take a chunk out of the pitch, so that could have been the sound that they heard, but not out. For the last ball of the over, and a quick single, and they get there safely, and the score is 5 for no loss after 1 over. As Simon said, not a good start by Quinton de Kock. He could have done more, but he was trying to be fancy, and we know that's not Quinton de Kock's thing.
Let me fill you up with some tweets. Swapnil Shivastava responded saying, "This Indian team and their captain Virat Kohli want to make their mark in Test cricket. I don't think the IPL should worry people who feel there is an agenda is at place here. 100% of the BCCI wanted to get this game on, and that is according to the English Cricket Board CEO, who was speaking to the BBC, and to which I replied, to which Guerrilla Cricket South Africa replied, bollocks, because I think that is absolute rubbish."
Now we know who handles the Twitter account.
And it's mostly important, actually. Yeah.
And if you see a stat there, it's normally me.
Yeah, exactly. So Leia then responded, "Oh, come on. Up until now, my timeline takes on the situation at Old Trafford were pretty nuanced and civil. Also, hello, everyone. Hello, Leia. Leia, I absolutely disagree with you. I think this was 100% looking after the IPL's cash cow, I'm afraid.
First ball of the next over, and is it Chamir? Sorry. Diane Jana in, and a quick single taken. The score moves on to 6 for no loss. They are now showing replays of the court behind appeal, and it seems like there was a spike, but I'm still sure that's hitting the ground. But thank you, Sri Lankan directors, for bringing that to our attention. De Silva in again for the second ball. And beaten outside off stump. Reza Hendricks just prodding. Whoa, he looks suspect. First ball in. Ooh.
Who's going to open for our looking at
next ball in? Worked down to long or on. Sorry, for a single, and Reza Hendricks is off the mark. Good, stay that side for now. Get your head right. Ball moves on to 7 for no loss after 1.3 overs.
Seeing Sri Lanka do pace and spin as openers for their innings, who do you think is going to open for ours? Are we going to open with
We've almost always opened with our first over being spin, and it's normally been George Linde. But when Bjorn Fontaine's been there, he's been the one to do it. So I would guess Bjorn Fontaine.
Dhananjaya into the cock and worked to the leg side, straight to square leg for no run.
And then I'm convinced that KG must only bowl 1 or 2 overs in the power play.
They took a single, sorry, 8 for no.
Never works. I think you bowl 1 over of KG and then bring on Glenn Pretorius.
Dhananjaya into Hendricks, straight to extra cover. This time they don't take a run. They took a run off the previous ball, so the score is 8 for no loss after 1.5. I think Kesh might open. Dhananjaya in for the last ball of the over and chipped away to long on for a single. 9 for no loss after 2.
It was chipped away in the air on the leg side. And the bowler thought about having a dive across, but Reza was just very casually running interference for his captain.
Yeah,
it wasn't Reza. It would have been Quinton, because it was
Quinton
the right-hander. Yeah. So he just held his ground, which was fine. You're not allowed to move into the fielder's way, but you can absolutely stand where you are, and that's exactly what he did.
Which is good cricket from Quinton de Kock. So maybe he is thinking, just not while he's on strike.
Well.
I think he's got a decent cricket brain.
He's got a very good cricket brain.
We've fallen into this trap of making fun of Quinton a few too many times, probably.
No!
You're saying, I don't think I'm critical of him. You said, how I feel.
Yeah.
I don't know what I've said that people think that I'm critical of Quinton de Kock. We're going to see, is it going to be Tikshana?
Oh, they're bowling change ready. Oh, they're bringing...
The man that ripped us apart. Yeah.
You guys saw these fantastic pictures of him from 3 years ago when he was 30% more of him was there and he didn't have.
I haven't seen that.
Yeah, so he was over 100 kilos. It was a chubby young lad.
First ball in to Reza Hendricks, who works it away to long on for 8.
So to give you an idea, 3 years. 3 years ago, he was the same weight that I am now, and he is now 8 kilos heavier than I was when I was at my running peak. So he's gone in the opposite direction, and he's developed a carrom ball. So good for him.
Yeah, but same can be said for Keshav Maharaj, because Keshav Maharaj apparently was a portly young man.
Really?
He was. He was also a seam bowler at a point.
Please do tweet us pictures of fat Keshav.
For the second ball. Oh, reverse sweep from Quinton de Kock. Oh, no.
He's trying
Missed
all the things.
Everything straight to the keeper. Why? Why?
Absolutely no reason whatsoever. And he's really just, who knows why? I think he's weirdly, when he's feeling unsure of himself and he's coming in new, cold, he almost wants to try everything.
Third ball of the over chipped to and bounces safe, luckily to long off the left-hander, for a single. Quinton de Kock moves on to 8. The score moves on to 11 for no loss. But I'm baffled by that reverse sweep. The Mark Bouch. Ooh. We're gonna have to have that conversation a bit later about the selection and all the background noise that's come through. The fourth ball of the over, square cut by Reza Hendricks. No one on the boundary, and it runs for 4. That's 5 runs. The reserve fielder picked it up before it reached the boundary, before it touched the... Oh, guys. Guys,
I'm
that's
quite sure
fine.
that's fine. I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think. I think that was
No,
an
that
international
didn't.
incident.
We've got it before. Let's cause one. But it's right away for 4. That's unfortunate. It should be 5. In for the
It's happened again.
all of the over
Sorry.
and worked away to the same spot and 4 more.
Was that a replay?
5 more.
Again?
4 more.
It was the same again. Oh my word!
No, it's same shot. Dropped it short and worked away. Rocks onto the back foot, cuts it square between gully and point, and he gets 4. And the substitute fielder is picking it up before it hits the boundary, which technically should be 5. Mr. Umpire.
Yeah, there's
Lost ball of the over. He's coming in. Riza Hendricks smokes this one through the covers. 4 more. Will the substitute fielder stop it before it reaches the boundary? No! This time, 4 more. A genuine 4. I would be the guy that would be moaning to the umpires that they're stopping it. I'm that petty. So the score moves on to 23 for no loss after 3 boundaries on the trot from Riza Hendricks. The keeper giving Tikshana a bit of a word just to calm his nerves. First over in T20 cricket, just calm down.
It seems a massive loss that we didn't. Whoops. It's a massive loss that Riza Hendricks didn't get a first more of Tikshana during that third ODI, or maybe he's just not as effective on a fresh pitch because, Riza Hendricks had them all figured out there. Just basically played 2 cuts and a drive and scored 12 off 3 deliveries there.
But they weren't exactly good balls outside off. He was looking for the turn, and the last one that he drove was Riza Hendricks got on the full, and Dhananjaya into Quinton de Kock, who plays a cover drive straight to the fielder. No run.
Yeah, so let's enjoy Quinny while he's here because I suspect he's going to be out shortly. He's just looked very, very out of sorts.
Second ball in, drops it short and straight to point. Straight to point for no run.
Leia gives a very good tweet. Says, not saying that the IPL didn't hang over the series like a dark cloud, but I think that Nas and Athers made a good point about the player's psyche in these trying times.
Third ball in, and Quinton de Kock squeezes it away, and they get a single. Squeeze it away to short third man, and they get a single, so the score moves on to 24 for no loss.
Yeah, I mean, I sort of agree that when you get to 5th test in a visiting country where you've been in bubbles for the better part of 3 months, even if you do have your family with you, as I think a number of the Indians did, I'm sure you don't exactly look at that 5th test with a great amount of relish.
And Dhananjaya in to Riza Hendricks, who works it away gently to long on for a single, 25 for no loss. I just don't think they want to play that last test match. They don't know what's going to happen. They'd rather walk away with a draw than a loss.
I don't believe for a moment that the players made that decision. I think the BCCI made that decision.
Dhananjaya into Quinton de Kock, who swats this away for 6. Down to long, on to the left-hander, and it is big. 6 more. Quinton de Kock no longer looks suspect. We have been berating this man.
We're very easily convinced.
Gives himself some room and swats it away over long on for 6. Good shot. A bit agricultural. I love it when commentators say that was a bit agricultural, gents.
So Leah continuing to come out to bat for us, saying to someone who's obviously given us a bit of a hard time, the IPL joke may have been a bit injudicious, but they are certainly good eggs, different styles to the mothership, but excellent in their very own rainbowy way.
The mothership. Oh.
Probably the best the best description of us I've heard. I mean, my style of listenership is very much mothership, rather.
Dhananjaya into Quinton de Kock, who tries to play a reverse sweep again, and there's an appeal for LBW. It's a given.
I don't think so.
No, not given. No. Quinton de Kock
No,
is just
I think he was
disappointed
just
that he didn't.
frustrated with the shots and wanted to get his
Okay.
gloves off. But he very
Yeah,
much
he-
didn't
Fair
give us
enough.
the impression that it was given. But I don't
It
think
did
Oh.
look like it, didn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting for me having birthed Guerrilla Cricket South Africa out of guerrillacricket.com. I still like that slightly more staid, old English gentleman chatting about cricket style of commentary. But what I see Anis and Chepo and Root and those sort of guys bring to the commentary is a huge amount of fun. And
Oh, well, thank you.
I wouldn't want to necessarily change our energy at all. I think Chris, you and I, when we are doing our 4th hour on the trot of Test match cricket, are probably a lot closer to what guerrilla cricket sounds like.
Yeah, it's just a function of the people. We could never do what they do just because that's not the people. It's never been a conscious decision to go in a certain way.
Danenjaya into Reza Hendricks, who taps it away. Well, hits it away straight to mid off for no run. Danenjaya in again for the second ball. Full toss and smacked and smoked over square leg for 6. What a shot. Reza Hendricks, you can't bowl there to him. High looping full toss and swatted away with disdain. I'm using big words.
Yeah, no, that was a pie of note, I'm afraid.
Yes! I got someone to say pie.
Yeah, really did just serve up a slow full toss on the leg stump. That was always only going to go one place from Reza Hendricks.
Keela Danenjaya worked down too long on by Reza Hendricks for a single. Reza Hendricks is saying, I need to be in this team. And he smoked that. Oh, he was angry. Oh.
38 without loss now after 4.5 overs. Yeah. Reza's on 23 off 12. And de Kock 15 off 15.
Reza
Reza
Hendricks is proving the hate is wrong.
Yes, go nuts.
Sean B says, is this the team that will play at the T20 World Cup with Bavuma in for Hendricks? It'd probably get quite close. You also wonder maybe whether Rassie van der Dussen, Heinrich Klaassen, who's the favorite between those two. And then if we play on a more spin-friendly wicket, maybe we take out one of Nokia and Rabada and bring in an extra batsman, perhaps.
Keela Danenjaya into Quinton de Kock, who hits it down too long off for a single.
And then Jean Ogin says, who handed Keshav his cap since it's his debut? Maybe he just had to throw it up in the air.
Reza Hendricks, and this one has some sharp turn and missing leg stump, luckily, but Reza Hendricks does not get any bat onto that. Woo, beaten. For the last 4th ball of the over, worked to extra cover for a single. Score moves on to 40 for no loss after 5.
Maybe Keshav had to throw his cap up in the air and try and catch it.
Catch it himself.
It wouldn't be his first hat trick.
Who's the most capped? David Miller is probably the most capped there, so he probably would have given the cap to.
Yeah, I would assume that was probably Hartwind.
Yeah. Or Quinton de Kock as a former captain.
Or possibly Boucher.
Could be, but we need to get rid of. You know how I feel about him at the moment. So
he's not anyone's favorite person at the moment. It's just every single time I open up an article related to Boucher, it just seems to be worse news. I mean, the latest one now is how they ghosted Imran Tahir. I mean, they did pretty much tell Imran Tahir that he was retired, whether he liked it or not. 18 months, I suppose.
Shamira back into the bowling attack, and this one is straight on middle and leg, and work straight back to the bowler for no run by Reza Hendricks.
But for a guy like that who firstly upended his entire life to come and play for South Africa, but also had such a measurable impact on South African white ball cricket in terms of the types of people that we now select, I think the very, very least would have been to give him a call and give him Graham Smith should have given him a call and told him exactly what the plans were.
Shamira in for the second ball and swatted straight to mid off. They take a cheeky single, but get there safely in the end. 41 for no loss.
Good pace here from Chimera. 144 there.
I know. Where was this? Where was this before? Maybe he knows he only has to bowl 4 overs, so he can go all out. I would, if it hit, it would have been close. If it hit, it would have been close. I really the excuses that have come up regarding the selection of certain players or non-selection. Yeah. Oh, if it hit, he would have been gone. Has been insane. And
it is bizarre that we've not selected the best T20 batsman in the world, the priciest IPL player in the world, and arguably the best T20 bowler in the world.
Chimera into Quinton de Kock, drops it short and pulled for 4. This time the reserve fielder does not pick it up before it hits the boundary, so we will call it 4, but you can't drop it short on this wicket. It seems rather slow, but swatted and was on. Quinton de Kock was on the back foot early, which seems like he was waiting for it. I don't know why, but that was a great shot by Quinton de Kock.
It really was. I mean, a classic Quinny, just rocking back and just getting it in the screws of the bat and sending it away to that mid-wicket boundary with no problem at all. Well, he's lasted longer than I thought he was going to be honest. I thought he was on his way out about an over and a half ago.
Chimera in for the 4th ball, and this one is a bit of line, bit of length, and just defended back to the bowler. Score remains 145 for no loss after 5.4 overs. Chimera is cranking up the pace. I was really confused as to why we have 3 out and out fast bowlers in that squad, especially considering we're playing in the UAE. It would have made more sense to have an extra spinner than an extra quick bowler.
Possibly.
Yeah, I think we're still getting used to the idea of spin actually being a main thing for South Africa.
Chimera in for the 5th ball of the over and cut down to 3rd man for a cut well. 142 using the pace of the ball, working it down to 3rd man for a single. Score moves on to 146 for no loss. Rize Hendricks on strike.
Well, today we'll get to see a bit of it, but I do believe Dwayne Pretorius is a good enough fast bowler that you don't need all 3 out seamers there. Dwayne Pretorius can do that in place of one of them.
Guys, I'm going to leave you for a little while because I'm probably going to be on for the next shift as well. So
no worries.
I'm going to just go and attend to some issues, and I will see you shortly. Chris,
and I are going to rant.
Can you do tweets, mate?
Yeah, I'll keep an eye on tweets and I'll keep an eye on the YouTube comments. So, Tsepo Taylor says the way it wouldn't be his first hat trick slipped under the radar. That was classy, Chris. I was talking about Keshav throwing his hat on his head. Jean or Jean says Tahir's ready for the next World Cup. That man is going to play until he's 60. Yeah, I think he's 42 now, and knows. That's the other thing about him. He was more passionate about playing for South Africa than I think anyone else I've seen. You could see those behind-the-scenes videos of him leading the war cries. He was so excited every time he took a wicket.
Chimera into Rize Hendricks, who works it away to extra cover for a single. Score moves on to 47 for no loss after 6. Yeah, he had this passion about playing for us. But now my question is, should we approach some of the Afghanistani players, who, especially the spinners, who might be sanctioned by the ICC so that they're no longer recognized as as playing international cricket because of the Taliban saying that women can no longer take part in sport?
Although it's not like the Afghan cricket side was playing a whole bunch of cricket before then either.
Yeah. So
it's
maybe
a complex
we can offer
issue.
These guys some asylum.
I don't even think we can solve the cricket side of that on this sort of broadcast. Obviously, it's massively complicated. Yeah, the fact that Australia just sort of cancelled the Test match I don't think they made any communications. They just said unless they get the women's team sorted.
Did they have a women's team that was competitive playing a lot?
No, they didn't. That was a concession that they were supposed to slowly bring in a women's team, and they just hadn't done that either way. But rather than stepping in and trying to get a women's team organized or trying to put pressure in other ways, they just cancel it unless you fix it. I don't know.
Tikshana in for the first ball of the 7th over, and worked to deep backward point for a For 2, there's a misfield. And the current ball, yeah. Yo.
Yeah, little aerial up.
In the slow-mo, his fingers. Yo. We were saying that in the podcast yesterday, which everyone should check out. Tim was saying Luba from the Warriors is a decent all-rounder and he's an off-spinner, which South Africa is missing. So that could have also been an option that wasn't taken in for the second ball and nudged away to Kyle Corner for a single. Quinton de Kock back on strike. Score moves on to 50 for no loss. That's the 50 after 6.2 overs. Another... Oh, no, that's a replay.
And then Jean or Jean says, fun fact, the last time a player made both his debut as captain and a player for South African T20s was in 2005 when Graham Smith made his T20 debut, both as captain and as a player in the format. We were talking about that on the WhatsApp group. Of course, that was just our first ever T20 international. So someone's going to be playing it. Unless you don't appoint a captain, someone's going to be doing both of those things. And then
everyone made their debut.
yeah.
Just quickly, there was a Tikshana in for the third ball of the over to Quinton de Kock, who works it away to a vacant corner. And they will take a single. They just had a picture of Mark Boucher, who was watching the replay of the current ball, and he was explaining to the players, and the players just like blanked.
So, I mean, I never played higher than second team university, and I know what a current ball is and how to bowl one. It's worrying. It happened in the ODI as well, where it looked like Bjorn Hendricks was explaining it to Carl Verena. Surely they do know. Surely they know.
Tikshana into Riza Hendricks, who works it down to a deep extra cover. The sweeper picks up, and they get a single. Score moves on to 52 for no loss after 6.4 overs. Is that another one? Yep, it was another one. Well read by Riza Hendricks. I think he's watching the hand, watching it come out of the hand. Tikshana into Quinton de Kock, who loops it in the outside edge, and it runs down to third man. They're taking 2, and pulled back by the fielder, and they will get 2 comfortably. The score moves on to 54.
If I'm the Sri Lankan selectors, I almost don't want to play Tikshana until the World Cup. Because the more games he plays before then, the more you'll see batsmen figure him out, and he'll lose that X factor, sort of like Ajanta Mendes did in a very similar way. I think you almost just need to save him for then. But
because it seems like Riza Hendricks has figured him out pretty quickly. Tikshana into Quinton de Kock, who reverse sweeps this straight to backward point for no run. Oh, I'm getting so frustrated with this shot. Good Quinton de Kock. Not have just played that straight back down to the bowler for an easy single.
Seppo Tyler says, the more I think about this selection, the more it grows on me. I'd rather build new heroes, as Smith said in the presser. But if Fortain seems rusty on tour, I'll be vexed. I get that as well. And Linda being in the squad, it's got to be... It's weird, because are they going to play him in any of the games? Saying that they're not interested in it. I guess he's still a traveling reserve, but he's the player who has the best reason to feel aggrieved. Yaneman Malan, obviously, he's been brilliant in ODIs, but I don't think he hadn't blown the doors off in T20s. It's much of a
be careful what you say, because Twitter's going to get upset with you, because Yaneman Malan should be in that team instead of Themba Bavuma, which is ridiculous.
That's the thing. Whenever they mention who's keeping, somehow Themba Bavuma, he's the one guy who's keeping out AB, Faf, Yaneman Malan. He's keeping out everyone all at once.
Yeah. Oh, no. And you look at it and you're like, in ODIs, he has a better record than Aiden Markram. There's a change of ball. Hasaranga in 2-0. Riza Hendricks, some big turn back into Riza Hendricks, who attempts to cut, but too close to his body, and he manages to sneak it away to point for no run. Oh, actually it went to first slip,
we don't really have time, but I was arguing with someone.
For the second ball, and he drops it short, and Riza Hendricks swats it away to Kyle Corner for a single.
I ended up muting the conversation because you can just get sucked into these Twitter arguments. But someone was saying that Faf should be there instead of Bavuma. Bavuma's a quota captain saying that Faf has an international T20 100. But the only batsman in this side who does have an international T20 100 is David Miller. So why is he picking on Bavuma rather than any one of the other batsmen?
When else? Yeah.
And then said that Faf scored a franchise 100 T20 100 a couple of days ago in the CPL. Temba Bavuma has a franchise 100. Adam Markram, Hannes Klassen have never even scored domestic T20 100s, but it's still Temba Bavuma is the one.
I think this ball bowled outside off, and just to
I guess not everyone's been watching every delivery like this, so we are going to see Tishana's current ball explained during every broadcast.
What happened? Oh, did it just get cut off? What I don't understand is that no matter what the issue is, it's Temba Bavuma's fault. And I made a comment on Twitter. Temba Bavuma can be scoring runs like Don Bradman, and they'd still want to drop him. And this one into Reza Hendricks and swept, okay, and down to a deep mid wicket for a single. Quinton de Kock back on strike. Score is 57 for no loss. One ball left in the 8th over.
That if Adam Markram wasn't white, he'd be called a quoted player based on his ODI numbers. He's averaging 28 after 30-something games. He hasn't scored 100 yet.
And Temba Bavuma is averaging 49, but let's drop him.
And then,
but against Ireland.
Markram got to play Ireland. He didn't score 100 against Ireland when he played them.
This one on the leg stump of Quinton de Kock and worked away to square leg for a single. Score moves on to 58 for no loss after 8 overs.
And Jean says they're going to have a bidding war in the IPL over this Tikshana fella. Reminds me of that Ajanta Mendes. Well, he says A Mendes, but I assume that's Ajanta Mendes Oak from the early 2000s. Very similar. Karen ball and all. It's obviously Mendes got quite a few wickets in his career before he's eventually figured out. I don't know if Tikshana is going to have quite the shelf life since we've gone through the whole process before.
But that's the thing with these mystery spinners is that they're great when they burst onto the scene, but they don't have the longevity because eventually they will be figured out, and especially with video and analysis and everything. Yes.
He's another one.
Asaranga into Quinton de Kock, who smashes this one in between two fielders. This one goes to mid on, too long on 4-4. Score moves on to 62 for no loss. Tikshana is being a bit expensive today. Quinton de Kock takes the step away. Have they figured him out? I think that Reza Hendricks has been speaking to Quinton de Kock. What's his hand?
There's a massive sense of schadenfreude. I'm enjoying it too much seeing the guy ripped us apart, being ripped apart himself. Yes, payback.
And Tikshana in again. Second ball. Quinton de Kock steps away and this time smokes it through extra cover. But there is a fielder there on the boundary, and they only get one. Quinton de Kock is disappointed with himself. He saw the ball, he hit the ball, but there was a man in the way.
Yeah, it was a lovely shot, and as slow as these outfields are, Quinton de Kock really hammered that, so it got to the fielder quickly.
That was in the air, and luckily, the extra cover was a bit too slow to react. Tikshana into Reza Hendricks, drops this one short and goes to cow corner for a single. Quinton de Kock back on strike. 65 for no loss. 64? 64 for no loss.
Yeah, I don't think we read this tweet at the time, but Josie Oak said, when are you getting jingles back and the drinking and swearing? I mean, the jingles, that's all down to Simon. I'm not the biggest swearer, but I can definitely get a beer at some stage in the second inning.
Tikshana in. Reverse sweep by Quinton de Kock down to fine leg. Third man for him. And it is 2. So 66 for no loss. Yeah, if you want jingles, we can sing if you want.
That's going to be worse. That's how we halve our viewership. And Nakul Pandey, who is from the Guerrilla Cricket Mothership, replying to Simon's criticism of the BCCI, says, guys, you're better than that. And I'd like to believe a lot of us are. Simon enjoys the friction.
Tishana into Quinton de Kock. Another reverse sweep. This time he doesn't get anything on it, and it dribbles down to square leg, but they run through for a single leg bite. 66 for no loss.
And Jean O'Dean says, seeing these two being able to pick up this level spin under lights is quite pleasing. And I do agree. But I'm also very thankful that they've given us a fresh pitch.
Yeah. Because if I think they worked it out that second pitch was perfect, and then the third pitch was the same pitch was awful. Tishana into Reza Hendricks, who works this one down to long on for 2, because there was a bunch of uncovered ground. And that's the end of the ninth. That's the end of the ninth over. 69 for no loss after 9. Quinton de Kock on 34 of 29, and Reza Hendricks 35 off of. I missed that. 35 off 25.
So they're matching each other more or less in terms of runs, but Reza getting them a little bit faster than Quinton. But this is a nice base.
Good. Hopefully,
it's something we have struggled with is taking advantage in the second 10 overs from overs 11 to 20. But a base like this and some decent batsmen coming in down the order, hopefully we can put a decent target. It'll be funny if we end up putting up over 200 after not being able to do that in 50 overs.
No, we have to get 170 is our pass score. We've determined this in the past T20 that South Africa played this year. 170 is the goal. We haven't passed that in a long time. And this is it. Dhananjaya again, Akila Dhananjaya in to Quinton de Kock, who works this one down to long on for a single. And here's a picture of the two captains fist bumping. And fist bumping again in front of the trophy. First fist bump was behind the trophy. Oh, it's Hasaranga, sorry. Hasaranga in for the second ball.
I should have picked that up. I was looking at other
by Reza Hendricks. He's square cut by Reza Hendricks to point for a single, 71 for no loss after 9.2. Quinton de Kock on strike on 35. Reza Hendricks is now on 36 off 26.
And Jean says, "Oh boy, the bot is back," which is the case. But I don't have any way of stopping the bot from commenting. I think only Paul or Simon who sort of have back-end access to that stuff can do anything about
it. Asaranga into Quinton de Kock, who steps across his wickets and plays this ball behind his legs for a single to short fine leg. Interesting shot there. Hasaranga in to Reza Hendricks. Drops it short, but not short enough. And this one is muscled away to mid-wicket for a single. Score moves on to 73 for no loss.
I actually think we got kind of lucky with the group that we have in the World Cup, where maybe 2 years ago, the idea of facing Australia could have been dangerous. And the West Indies are still a wild card. But I do believe that we are a better T20 side than Australia and the West Indies. England are going to show us. Quinton de Kock
goes on the slog sweep to Hasaranga, picks up the man at cow corner, straight down his throat. Quinton de Kock out for 36. South Africa 73 for 1. Quinton de Kock.
That is the most common way for him to fall. I've seen him pulling out to square leg so many. I guess this time it's a sweep rather than the pull. But so often he gets caught on that onside boundary. I guess it's live by the sword, die by the sword. It's live by the sword, die by the sword. He gets a lot of runs like that, but he also seems to go out like that more than anything else. And we also get to witness his shaved head. Quinton de Kock's gone for a number 2 or so. All over. It's not all the way down. But
very neat schoolboy cut. Yes, keep it there.
And that's the main reason Bjorn Hendricks is in the side, because we heard the stories of him shaving people's heads all throughout the test tour.
And you may be old enough to remember Action Man that has that weird felt hair. That's exactly what Quinton de Kock's hairstyle is at the moment.
Oh no. Reza Hendricks having a fat conversation, trying to tell that's Aiden Markram trying to tell Aiden Markram how to play. No, but there's only one over left. the
One
mystery
delivery
spinner.
left.
One delivery for us.
Left, yeah.
Aiden Markram in. Just quickly, Quinton de Kock stats. He 36 of 32 balls, 3 fours, and a 6 strike rate of 112. And a sweep claims another victim. Aiden Markram.
With his
12
very
innings.
good T20 numbers.
Yes, compared to his one-day number. Oh, no. He's got 450s in the best of 70. Strike rate of 150.63. Saranga in. Last ball of the over. Oh, big appeal. No, stifled appeal, and that's going down leg. Markram survives the first ball, and that's the end of the over.
Facing the last.
Oh, to Hendricks, yes. And the score is 73 for 1, and that's us. Gents,
and the most people
luck.
we've ever seen on the side at once.
Hey!
The two of us leaving.
Cheers, guys.
Okay. Cheers. Enjoy. Thank you.
I'm hoping that you guys spent the time off air syncing yourselves. Are we all more or less together?
We are both watching live.
Yeah.
So we just saw a single off the second delivery of the 11th over. 75 for 1 is the score, and Markram faces this third ball. Now coming in to him, there's an appeal for LBW. Aquila is bowling, and there's a bit of an appeal, but I think he might have gotten inside edge. No, that was going down leg. Turned too much. Markram facing again. This one on off stump and swatted away out to deep mid wicket. They should get 2 here if they run quickly enough. Yes, they do. So Markram off the mark. He's on 4 now, and Reza Hendricks still there on 37. 77 for 1 after 10.4 overs. And
very good start in South Africa. Very good start so far.
Yes. Perfect start for South Africa. Yeah.
Well, guys, 77 off 10, hey?
Yep.
I mean, that's very par.
Yeah, this one is cut by Markram to extra cover for a single. And Reza Hendricks will now face the final delivery of the 11th over on 37. Markram moves to 5.
We know this South African side struck on stomach 170. So this is pretty much how we've been going the last 10, 12 games. This is pretty much, so it's we're sort of, plateauing. It's okay, but it's not brilliant, so to speak.
Well, I think I would say that's a perfect start given our performance in the previous match. That last one, a single from Reza Hendricks off his leg stump down to deep mid wicket, and it's 79 for 1 after 11.
Tim, can I just say what an absolute pleasure it is to have you back, mate?
Yes, hello.
Were you COVID related, or was it just general lurgies?
It was just a very, very bad flu. Still not 100%, but I'm getting there. It's good to be back. I'll certainly say that.
Did you have to go for a
No. Apologies to anyone if I do start coughing.
That's exactly what the mute button is for, mate.
Yes. So Hasaranga will continue now in the 12th over. Yeah, it's good to hear your voice again, Tim. Good to hear that you are on the recovery road. Reza Hendricks will face Hasaranga now on middle, and this one is swept top edge, and it's caught by a fine leg in the ring, and that is now a good position for Sri Lanka. 79 for 2 after 11.1 overs.
I'm happy to give you the numbers there. That was Reza Hendricks who swept that ball, got himself a top edge off the bowling of Akila Dhananjaya, and it just looped away to the fielder who was Tikshana, the debutant at this level, and he's only played 2 international games for Sri Lanka. This is the second one. Reza Hendricks caught Tikshana, bowled De Silva for 38. He faced 30 balls, 3 fours and a 6, strike rate of about 7 or 8 runs and over. And South Africa now 79 for 2, which I would say is a bit pedestrian.
Yeah. This quick info caught me out as well when I read the stats. PWH De Silva is Wanindu Hasaranga De Silva. He took the wicket there. So watch out for that one. Because I also read De Silva when I did the stats at the end of the last match. So Heinrich Klaasen is into the wicket now.
Some of these Sri Lankan players, especially from the old times, I've got some very long names with almost double middle names in between. So it can be very confusing.
Yes, and he chooses to go by Hasaranga on the TV scorecard, but Crick Info has him listed with his surname, which is De Silva. And this one by Markram is out to point. There's a bit of a misfield there, but they only take a single. No, they take two, in fact. 81 for 2 is the score now. We see a replay of Riza's wicket, just the top edge, underneath the ball.
This is why I don't want Riza in my T20 side. 38 of 30 at a strike rate under 130. At this level, that's not good enough. You need to be going at 140 plus. And if you look at somebody like Janne Malan's numbers, Malan's boundary percentage and strike rate is better than Riza Hendricks.
That last one by Markram to extra cover for no run. This one is worked down to long on by Markram, and they take a single. 11.4 overs gone, 83 for 2.
I think in Riza's defense, strike rates happen in the second half of your innings. So many guys we know always come back to the Lance Klusner example, where a run a ball or less for the first 20 or 30 balls, and it's so vital that they then kick on. What happened here was that Riza got out just at where he should have been launching.
Klaasen pulls that one to deep mid wicket for a single, it looks like. We'll check that now. Yeah, Tim?
This is no longer 2007. This is 2021. If you look at people like Finn Allen, if you look at people like Jason Roy, they go out there and they get told, right, in that power play, you go as hard as possible. If you get out for 20 or 6 balls, that's fine. It's absolutely fine. But if you come off and you make 50 or 30, it makes a huge difference.
I agree with that.
We don't need
to long on for a single, 84 for 2, 12 overs gone. Yes.
If there's one thing the South African side doesn't need is anchors. It's got too many anchors. It doesn't have enough. It's got Quinton de Kock, who could do what I've just said, and David Miller. But that's it, and that's the problem going forward.
So a couple of comments from our YouTube link. Chris Teebs, clearly stirring the pot, says, "Can you guys do the occasional updates on the India-England game too?" Chris from the bottom one. I've already been roasted. I was surprised to have some pushback from guerrilla cricket around my views on that. I think absolutely that was a corporate shenanigan, and I mean your come on. I mean your deputy physio gets tests positive. No one else tests positive. And now suddenly you guys are quitting the entire thing. No ways. I'm absolutely
Tikshana to Markram, and he goes straight to extra cover for no run. Yeah, once again, I'll say it again. We'll have to wait for the biographies to be written to see what exactly happened there. We're not going to get the full story now.
That's never going to say. Have you ever read an honest, controversial Indian autobiography?
Oh yes, you're right. Tikshana to Markram, and he hauls this one from outside off to deep mid wicket for another single, straight to the fielder there. 85 for 2. Miller showing off with his juggling skills, juggling 3 cricket balls. Jeez, I've practiced that so much. I can never get that right. I can do 2.
This is Amy's absolute fantasy.
And it looks awful.
So Amy, my daughter, we've got these jugglers on South African streets these days. Sort of.
Tikshana to Klaasen. over the wicket. Klaasen fishes at that one, weak defensive push there to the offside, through to the keeper for no run, beaten.
So she watches these guys, and she's able to tell me the moves that they're doing. And will then say, yes, well, he tried an overhand Watson, and that was clearly never going to work. And that's why he dropped it.
Tikshana into Klaasen, and this one is swept powerfully. Let's see where it goes. Straight to the fielder at deep mid wicket. Another single taken there. Yeah, you see, Tim, this is where what you described there, the inability to get going from ball one, is now making our score look worse with every ball that passes, because 86 for 2 with two balls to go in the 13th, that's no longer such a good start or such a good score. Markram pushes this one out to the offside, and it's fielded at backward point, and they take another single, 87 for 2.
Let's do a couple of tweets quickly. Leia says, I just violated a bird corpse by shoving a bunch of onions and garlic up its arse, because I'm kinky like that. Which shows a lovely picture. Weirdly, I had definitely picked Leia as a vegetarian. So that's well done, Leia. You get a tick in my book. Josie Oak says, what do you think Josie Oak says, chaps?
You're doomed.
Exactly. And here we go.
And Devin.
Got him. Yeah, that was plum.
Tikshana gets Heinrich Klaasen, LBW, 9 seconds to go. He's going to refer. He's going to refer this.
Properly out.
He went down onto one knee for the sweep shot there, and it struck him on the front pad. I think the front foot is fine by Tikshana. We'll see what delivery it was in a moment. And it was the carom ball going straight or just pitching and moving to the offside. And it strikes Heinrich Klaasen. It strikes Heinrich Klaasen on his pocket, on his back leg, as he goes for the sweep there, but it looks like it struck him outside the line, so that might save him there.
I think, it actually went the other way. I thought it went straight on and hit his front pad.
Yeah, it spun the other way, which is a huge bonus for us, potentially. Potentially,
yeah, so Tikshana with the aerial carom ball action is getting the ball to actually do a leg spin there. There's no bat.
I can tell you right now, as an umpire, I would have given this for all money.
Which is why the umpire gave us. Yeah,
exactly. Yes. But I thought it hit him on the front pad. I didn't realize it actually hit him on the back. So it was actually moving out.
Umpire's call.
Wicket's umpire's call. It's gone.
Review retained though. But good decision there by the umpire. I forget his name. I know his name, but I'm forgetting his name now. Damasina.
It is Damasina, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. He is indisputably Sri Lanka's top umpire, and has stood for most of, I think, this series actually.
Oh yes. So 87 for 3 after 13. Klaasen goes for 2.
Yes, let me give you numbers there. Sorry, I've been sleeping. So 100 Klaasen was LBW bowled Tikshana for 2. He faced just 4 balls, a strike rate of 3 runs and over, and that leaves South Africa at 87 for 3. Tikshana, Mahesh Tikshana, who is rapidly becoming one of my favorite bowlers in the world, has been expensive, to be honest. That was the second last ball. In fact, it was the last ball of his allotted 4. And he has bowled 1 for 35, economy rate of 8.7. He was really climbed into. I think he was hit for 3 fours off 3 balls by Reza Hendricks, which ruined his figures somewhat. But on the whole, someone who is very, very excited to watch. And the next man in is David Miller.
Miller time, baby. Here we go. Let's see what David can do.
Finally, somebody with a proper strike rate.
And a go from ball one type of guy. He hasn't had a chance to play in Sri Lanka on this tour yet, along with Reza Hendricks, of course. And I think we can see the disappointment there from Klaasen and Markram. That review was probably triggered by Markram telling him, look, I think it struck you outside the line, but they've retained the review. So but Klaasen had to go. And now we will see change of bowling.
Yes. Shamika Karunaratne, who's going to be joining the bowling, who's going to be bowling off a long run up, which is weird to see in this series where it's been very, very spin dominated.
Yeah, start of the 14th over. He goes right arm over the wicket, full toss onto middle stump. Markram flashes at this, and it goes backward of square onto the leg side, and then take only a single. So the fly half is on strike, number 10, David Miller.
Josie Oak, he's such a fly half, isn't he, old David Miller? Yeah, walks off the park with clean shorts. But yes, Josie Oak tweets us, too many anchors. Sorry, I misheard that at first. Not sure which of you said too many anchors. And then Chris has got a peach of a retweet, which I'll read you after this ball.
So Karunaratne is at the top of his mark. He's looking around and talking to the man at mid-on. There, contemplating some field changes, no doubt. He comes running in now and goes right arm over the wicket to the left-handed David Miller. Full toss outside off stump. That was very close to a no ball. David Miller plays it out to point for a single. Score moves to 89 for 3.
These first two balls from Karunaratne have been dreadful, and actually the fact that we haven't got 8 off them is appalling.
I was just going to say,
we should have had 12 off them.
If it's continues to score like that, then I'll be very happy, providing, of course, we make it count.
Exactly.
Two bad balls not properly punished.
You see, once again, I'm going to have to offer Chris Teeb's tweets after this ball, I think.
And Karunaratne over the wicket. This time the ball bounces in front of Markram. He works it out to mid-wicket, and they take another single. Sri Lanka will be very happy with this.
Chris TB retweets Jeff Lemon, who is... we actually interviewed him on Guerrilla Cricket not that long ago. Says, you'll have to spend 4 months in England. Oh, that's bad. But you'll win a test series. That's good. The series will be cancelled for COVID. Ah, that's bad. But you can attend a book launch. That's good. The book is Ravi Shastri's autobiography. Ah, that's bad.
Bad. Fourth ball of the over. And this one pitches on middle, and Miller just tries to work it to the onside, gets a leading edge out to point, and they take another, guess what?
Single.
Single.
Chris TV also points out that he can bowl carom balls of a much lower quality if the Proteas need a net bowler to practice against. Yeah, carom balls are pretty much my speciality as well. Off spinners that don't turn at all.
Or that do something unexpected that not even you know about. Markram now facing Karunaratne. 4 singles off the over so far. He pulls this one straight to the sweeper on the leg side boundary, and they get 2 this time.
Some fairly fancy fielders out on the boundary there. One man slid across
for 3. Yeah,
one man slid across and fired it through lengthways, parallel to the boundary, across to his mate, who then fired it in. Good fielding all round. That's
I was going to say that
definitely, I think, a sign of Mickey Arthur. That sort of fielding prowess.
Yeah, the fielding hasn't been particularly good this series, but that was a good piece of fielding.
Markram facing the last ball of the 14th over. Slower ball. He had to wait for it. Dabs it down to the man at third inside the circle, and another single taken. 14 overs gone, 94 for 3. Markram is on 16 and Miller is on 2.
So some YouTube comments. And just a reminder, you could chat to us on YouTube or by tweeting us at Guerrilla SA. That's GUERILLA SA, Guerrilla SA. Yanni Hendricks says, good afternoon, Otto, Simon, Tim. Nice commentary. Thanks very much, Yanni. Lovely to hear from you. Jean says, would have sent Miller in ahead of Klaasen to push the run rate up. I'm inclined to agree with you, Jean. I think it's really, really weird to have a guy who, even if he's picked on reputation, is indisputably South Africa's best T20 player, I think. And he should be batting as high up as we can have him. And Jean also talking about the test and saying, why announce on the morning of the test a cancellation? Because they needed an excuse, Jean. I really,
Yeah.
Yeah, indeed.
I think it was a real letdown for me as a neutral in that situation, because it would have been really cool to see India go for the series win. But they apparently think that a drawn series is okay. Markram pushes this one down to a wide of long on, and it's picked up, and they'll run 2. Start of the 15th, 96 for 3.
Well, I mean, Tim, you can help us on this. Has the game officially been given to England? Because I know that the initial comments were that it was a forfeit.
The latest is that they are going to try and reschedule it. To win, I'm not sure. There were plenty of jokes on Twitter that it's going to be rescheduled to November in Nagpur. But
Markram pushes this one to long on for a single off Aquila, who's bowling his final over, I think, 97 for 3. Yes.
Yes, that's the latest. They are going to try and reschedule it. But I think important point here is also to remember is the BCCI didn't want to play it at all.
Yes,
when the fixtures came out originally, they didn't want to play it at all because of the congestion with the IPL.
Akila Dhananjaya around the wicket now to Miller, pushes this one off his pads out to mid-on, where it's fielded by Dhananjaya himself. They take another single. Yeah, when you mentioned that on our chat group there, it was quite interesting. And then that just makes everybody put their tinfoil hats on, hey? And say, this was the only way that they could get out of the match was to use COVID as an excuse. Dhananjaya to Markram, steps down the wicket, pushes this one past the diving Dhananjaya out to long on for another single. 99 for 3 after 14.4.
I'm not
so maybe they planned this from the beginning.
Yeah, right.
I don't. I mean, maybe I'm being too conspiracy theorist here, but it just seems to me far too convenient that your least valuable member of the entire team is the one that got COVID. And I mean that with no disrespect to assistant physios everywhere, but come on. And everybody else tested negative, and yet suddenly, I promise you now, if this had been the final against New Zealand, do you think they would have gone home? Not a chance.
No chance. Dhananjaya to Miller, a single down to long on. Dhananjaya coming around the wicket wide in the crease as he delivers the ball, trying to attack the off stump there of David Miller, who just taps it down to long on for a single. Yeah, and I hope he recovers. I hope that the person who tested positive might have been a false positive and he gets well soon. But imagine somebody walking up to you, Markram, tries to sweep this one, which is down the leg side by Dhananjaya for a wide, coming up to you and saying, listen, you're going to test positive for COVID. Why me? How did I get picked for this job? So if there was a conspiracy, somebody would have had to tell him what's going to happen,
Gents, I'm going to have to step away because I have to go and fetch my daughter from school.
Dhananjaya to Markram, he pulls this one slog sweep over the mid-wicket boundary. There is a fielder there, but the ball lands about 3 meters away from the boundary rope on the correct side for South Africa. A 6, 107 for 3, and 15 overs are gone. So, Tim, the magical 170, what do you think is a pass score here? What do you think we can defend?
I actually think a pass score is probably 170 on here, but we're not going to get there. We're not going to get to 170.
Yeah, that would mean
we're probably going to get to 145, 150 maybe max.
Yeah, so 10 runs and over from here will put us up to 157 with 5 overs to go. So yeah, getting to 170 would mean 14, 15 run overs, which the team hasn't shown that they can do anywhere close to that yet.
No, I don't think this is a two-paced wicket or it's particularly difficult in a T20 format. I think it's coming on the bat nicely. When we saw Quinton de Kock with the relative ease, he was clearing the boundary. So yeah, I think anything under 170, and I think we're going to struggle.
Yeah, I agree. Miller now facing. Let me get the name there for you. They take a single down to mid-on. This is Chamika Karunaratne. I don't think it is because this man is bowling. It's Hasaranga continuing,
Hasaranga.
Yes. And they took a single there. David Miller moves on to 5 or 5. Hasaranga in again to Markram, and this one goes through to the keeper, beats the bat of Markram for no run. 108 for 3 is the score, 15.2 overs gone. That one turned really nicely, pitched on the middle and off, and misses the off stump. Hasaranga into Markram again, another good leg spinner, lots of turn. Markram smashes this one straight to the man at long off for a single, 109 for 3.
Yeah, he's getting a nice purchase.
Yeah,
he's getting a nice purchase, nice turn. He's been a real fight for Sri Lanka the last few months. Hasaranga.
Yep, he goes now to David Miller, who smokes this one straight back down the ground into the stands, into the side screen there, hits the side screen on the full, and that is Miller time, 115 for 3. Much better here from David Miller. We need him now because this single 2 type of scoring rate is not going to win us this game. Let's see how far did that travel. Yeah, it hit the side screen on the full.
Just as I was talking Hasaranga up, he bowls a wide one, too wide, a little bit too short, which gives the batsman Miller the ability to get underneath the ball. Huge difference there, so he could get his arms free.
Hasaranga now onto Midland leg, and David Miller just taps this into the vacant square leg area for a single, 116 for 3. And Miller is off strike, so it'll be another single or a 2 most probably from Markram. Let's hope he can also step on the gas a little bit more. Hasaranga in for the final ball of the 16th over. It goes over the wicket. Markram tries to work this into long on, and another single, of course, and he retains the strike, playing the anchor role, which we don't need right now. So it's got to be swing for the fences, sacrifice your wicket if you're not going to be scoring at a faster rate. Aiden Markram, please move on. He's on 28 of 23, and Miller there with him on 12 of 7. Much better from Miller, almost a 200, almost a 12 run and over strike rate, 200 strike rate. So, they've scored
26
needs to open the taps.
They've scored 26 of the last 14, which is showing that there is a bit more purpose between the two. They are at least trying to go to the next level, trying to go through the gears, which of course we desperately need.
Oh yes, so hopefully Markram here can really up the tempo now, because we've got the wickets in hand. We need to cash in now as much as we can, because the singles are not going to put us in a position to defend. I think there's 4 overs left, and another 28 runs is not going to be a good enough score. We need at least another 50 from the last 4 overs. It will be Chamira back into the attack. He's going to finish off bowling the 17th and the 19th over. He's got 2 overs left. He's gone for 12 runs so far without a wicket. And he showed in the last ODI that he is also a wicket-taking option for Sri Lanka.
I was just going to say, and also he was good at the death in the 50 over stuff. So he's now bowling at the back end of a T20 as well. So they obviously trust him in this scenario.
Yeah, we got a little bit over eager when we saw that the spinners were running out of their overs, and then Chameera came in and cleaned us up. So that's let's see what he can do here for Sri Lanka. He's only gone for a runner ball with the 12 runs conceded in his in the game so far. He comes over the wicket now, and Markram just pushes this ball past him to mid-off for a single straight to the man at mid-off. And 117 for 3 at the start of the 17th over, 118 for 3, sorry. And Markram on to 29 of 24.
I'd obviously like Markram to go through the gears now, but I almost don't mind so much if he just gives the strike to Miller. If he just gets the single, the start of the over like this, and just says to Miller, right, the stage is yours, take over.
Yep, yeah, that could also work. And I don't know. I'd rather see him swing for the fences and get somebody else in there. Markram, Miller faces this one by Chameera, the left-hander, plays this one out to mid-off for a single, and Chameera there pitches the ball on about midland leg. Miller tries to work it to the onside, gets a leading edge to mid-off, just a single there. So it's now
They're just able to tuck Miller there with that length, that sort of length, back for length, so Miller can't get underneath it.
Yep, Markram facing Chameera now, right arm to right-handed batsman. This one is beaten the man at extra cover, but the man at mid-off gets it deflected to him, and they take a single. 120 for 3.
That right there's got to go. Full toss on leg stump. I don't care where you hit it. That's got to go. In this situation, at this time of the match, it's got to go out the ground.
Now, Markram giving himself room well outside leg stump. Chameera follows him with a full toss onto his knees, and he just tries to play like a back foot drive, almost too much preempt or premeditated there from Markram. Miller now pulls this one into the square leg boundary for a 4. Beautiful shot there by David Miller. Swivels on his back foot, and just beautiful pull shot all along the ground. Nobody there to stop that. It went down to Fine Leg. Fine Leg is in the ring and smacks into the boundary ropes. Very nice.
Finally,
2 balls to go.
A bad ball which gets the treatment it deserves.
Yep, 124 for 3. 124 for 3. 2 balls to go in the 17th. So South Africa so far have hit only 7 4s and 4 6s. I bet you Sri Lanka will be beating that at the same point in their innings. So we'll have to bowl Sri Lanka out, because it looks like we're not going to put a score on the board that they will fear chasing.
Which has been the case for a while now for the side.
Yep, full outside off stump, and Miller just gets enough bat on it to beat the keeper. Down to Fine third man for a 4. 128 for 3. 1 ball to go in the 17th. So the achieved run rate now is 7.6. And we reckon that 8.5 and over is what you want on this ground, on this wicket. And that will force the Sri Lankan batsman to go for a boundary every over, to try and go for a boundary every over, whereas chasing 140 or so won't do that, I think.
We've scored 35 of the last 19, which is
very,
yeah.
But we need more. We want more. 1 ball to go. Chamira will go to David Miller, making some changes to his field. He's got a mid-off in there, in the ring, as well as a fine leg in the ring. I think they've sent third man back now. We'll see if we can check that. Miller is on 21, Markram on 30, 128 for 3. Yes, third man is also in the ring. And Chamira goes to Miller, and he swats this one over extra cover. There's a man running around and manages to stop that ball from bouncing over the boundary, and they go through for 2. So end of the 17th, Miller punches his bat. He knew he could have done more with that shot. 17 overs gone, 130 for 3. Putting together some big overs, but all around the 12 and over mark. So 3 more like that, and they'll get to close to 170.
And we'll have something to bowl at. Yeah, we'll have something to bowl at.
So we needed a 16, 20 over, 16 or a 20 run over here to get to that 70 mark. But Miller has lost the strike with that 2. He definitely knows what needs to be done. Let's see if Markram can match that. And who's going to bowl the 18th and 20th overs for Sri Lanka? Now, so the man on the cover boundary there, sweeping around to extra cover, gets his hand to that ball, bounced once, was on its way over the rope. And it will be Karunaratne. Yes. And he will be...
The last 2 overs, they've had a bit of a consultation, the Sri Lankan fielders, as to who should bowl. So maybe they're feeling a little bit of pressure at last.
Karunaratne comes over the wicket, right-handed to the right-handed Markram, wide outside off stump. That will be a wide again against his name there. And that's good for South Africa. Not so good for Sri Lanka. They're in a position here to restrict South Africa, and they're very good. They were very good at doing that during the ODIs. Just as you expect the batters to let loose and up the scoring rate, they all, so many times during the ODI series, they managed to pin us back. Karunaratne comes in again over the wicket, wide again, but this time Markram gets a hold of it. It's flying through the air towards extra cover. There's 2 fielders converging, and they will cut it off. Hopefully they'll run 2 here, preferably 3, to get Miller back on strike, but it looks like Markram came through for the second. So it's 154 for 3 after 17.1. I think they did run 3 there. Yes, that looks like they did. So that's...
Yes.
Yep, they came back for the 3rd. So that's excellent work there by Markram, realizing what needs to be done. And he knew that if he couldn't get the boundary, he needed to get Miller back on strike, which is good. So good work there. He does look like he's playing to the situation. And he actually called Miller through for the 3rd run. He was running to the danger end at the non-striker. So that's pretty good stuff there from Markram. 134 for 3, 1 ball gone in the 18th over. Karunaratne comes in again. He's bowling his second. He goes to David Miller. This one is on middle and leg, slower ball it looks like, and it's another nice looking pull shot, but just a single this time down to the man at wide-ish fine leg on the boundary. And it's 135 for 3. So that will be 6 runs off the over so far with the wide. And Markram is on 33. Miller is on 24 off 12.
We've scored 50 of the last. We've scored 50 of the last 30. That's exactly 10 and over.
No, that's not too bad, but we still want more from our men's national team. Karunaratne bowling the 3rd legal delivery of the 18th over now to Markram. who tries to reverse sweep this, and he gets it right over the head of the third man inside the ring, and it's a 4 to Aiden Markram. Good shot there. It was a bit wide. He could have left that for a wide, but he decided to go for the reverse lap sweep there.
I don't know why, from a Sri Lankan perspective, you're bowling wide, trying for the wide Yorker with the third man up. Very peculiar bowling and field placing. But from a South African perspective, they'll be very happy.
Indeed. So Carlos just corrected me here. There's been 7 runs off the over before that 4, so it's 11 off the over now. And Markram facing Karunaratne now bowling the 4th ball. He swings and gets this one out of the screws, sailing over long off for a beautiful looking 6. And that is more like it from Aiden Markram. He's on to 43 now. Miller on 24. Score moves on to 145 for 3 with 14 balls to go. So we definitely should be getting over the 170 mark from here. Maybe 180 is on the cards now, if these two carry on like this.
These two have put on 58 of 30 deliveries. So
yeah,
50-50 partnership.
Yep, and the run rate is up to 8.2. So that's more like it. Markram facing Karunaratne tries to work this one over mid-wicket, but he gets an inside edge onto his pads. The ball just rolls lazily out to Silly Point with nobody there. And they go through for a single. So 146 for 3.
So far, it looks like Sri Lanka are a work in progress at bowling at the death in T20 cricket. As good as they were at the 50-50 over series, they seem to be struggling at the moment.
Yeah, well, the wickets in hand. Yeah.
Both legs. Yeah.
Yeah, but the wickets in hand, I think, are giving these two guys at the crease for South Africa some extra confidence. They are both really good players. And Miller faces this one on the leg stump, leading edge, goes out to mid-wicket for a single. Karunaratne shaking his head. Yeah, he got badly slaughtered in that over. That would
16.
be 11, 17, 18, 19 runs off that over. A wide, a 3, a 1, a 4, a 6, and 2 singles. That's more like it from these two guys. And now the graphic on the television has recalibrated itself to accommodate that 19-run over. And now all of the other overs look really small in comparison, with only 2 coming close to, only 3 of them coming close to 12 runs and over. 2 11-run overs, 1 12-run over before this one. So very much needed a big over for South Africa. 147 for 3, 2 overs to go. And another bowling change. Dasun Shanaka will bowl the 19th over.
I think the fact that how they've bowled the last 2 overs tells you everything. They're bowling Shanaka, who's a good bowler, but this is his first over of the match, and it's the 19th of the innings. That tells you that they're not happy with how things are going.
Yeah, the captain bringing himself on to bowl. Yeah, that's nice to see that South Africans are putting some doubt in the minds. Miller smashes this one down to long off, straight to the fielder. They only get a single there. Grimaces as he gets to the non-striker's end. And it's 148 for 3 with 11 balls to go. So Markram on 44 of 29. Figures looking, strike rate looking a lot better. All of a sudden, 151 strike rate. And we've seen he definitely knows what needs to be done. This one is short, and he swats this one down to mid-wicket, where it's a bit of a misfield. They should get back for 2, maybe another 3 here. No, it's just a 2. Miller is still on the non-strikers end. Markram goes to 46, and 150 is up for South Africa with 10 balls to go.
They got the total that I said they would struggle to get to. I said
good.
We would finish up at around the score. Hopefully
so
we can get another 15 minutes more. So.
So not a real misfield there, just misjudging the spin as the fielder there got totally overran the ball as it pitched it, made the old leg spin movement there past him. Markram gets a very nice floating delivery that dips and just manages to get some bat to it to avoid that ball going into his stumps. What a delivery that was by Dasun Shanaka. Just floated up to the batsman and dipped at the last minute. Markram giving himself room, stepping outside leg stump, and it looks like a leg cutter as well. On top of that, he just manages to get some bat into it, bounces, and Shanaka collects, tries to get the run out, but Miller was back in. Markram was back in his crease. 150 for 3. And Markram facing Shanaka again, and this one is played out to deep mid-wicket for another 2. Good running.
Very good.
Ball strikes Markram as he comes back for the second. 152 for 3. 2 balls to go in the 19th over. 8 balls to go in the innings. 170, maybe not so much now, but anything can still happen, and usually does in T20s.
It's been a good comeback from the South African side the last 5 overs or so. I still think they're going to be a little bit short of where they would like to have been at the start of the day, but it's much better improvement.
Another excellent slower delivery by Dasun Shanaka, and this one is a top edge as Markram once again stepped out to leg side, trying to give himself room, gets a top edge and easily collected. That was a slower ball out the back of the hand, a top edge by Markram, and just lazily loops out to the man in the ring at third man. And Dasun Shanaka gets Markram too short of his 50. I didn't want to say anything. He's got 48 off 33, 152 for 4, and 7 balls to go in the innings.
And more importantly, striking at 145. Which is,
most importantly.
That's a really good innings by Markram. He hasn't quite settled himself in this format, but that was a really good innings. Context of the match.
He did repair his strike rate quite nicely, and he accelerated the run rate. You could see there was a real intensity to his batting, so that's a good innings by Markram. And to the crease comes Dwayne Pretorius. He will be joining David Miller. I don't think the batsman crossed there, so Pretorius might be facing this final delivery because the ball didn't have enough time to allow the batsman to cross before the catch was taken there, I don't think. And indeed, it is Pretorius facing the last ball from Dasun Shanaka down to long on for a single, and he will retain the strike, 153 for 4 with 6 balls to go. So it'll be an awesome effort to get the 17 runs they need to get to 170, but it can be done. I think Pretorius should just run 3 or tip and run and just get Miller on strike. Whatever you do, Dwayne, just get Miller on strike as soon as possible in this final over, because he's the one that can carry us over that 170 mark. And Simon is back.
Hello. Been to fetch my daughter, who's had the most insanely long day of school possible. She ran inter-school cross-country in the morning. Well, not inter-school, the school main cross-country thing in the morning, which we think she won. But,
hey, well done.
yeah. And then she had chess, and then she had football. So a lady of many talents. But it means that she is feeling sorry for herself and drinking water straight out the bottle from the fridge and wanting to know why I haven't made enormous amounts of pizza and pasta to welcome her home.
And get those carbs back into the system.
Exactly.
Chamira now with the final over. He goes wide and full, and Dwayne Pretorius manages to squeeze this out to the cover boundary, and they take 2 runs. So Dwayne Pretorius is also one of those guys, Tim, that can go from ball 1.
Yeah, strike rate of 165. Definitely has the ability. I think in certain games, in certain circumstances, he could come in at number 4 and just tee off.
Yeah. So he's in at number 6 today. He faces the second ball of the final over now, full and outside off stump. He gets this away to mid-off for a single, and Miller will face the third ball of the final over. 156 for 4.
Guys, 156 for 4, 20 runs below par, I would have thought, hey?
Yeah, I would agree. But from where we were, I thought that Miller and Markham did bat well. They got us to a total here that is defendable. I agree. I think it's probably going to be 15 short, but at least it's something to bowl at. I think they both batted well.
I think we'll have to bowl Sri Lanka out to win this game. Chamira into David Miller. He goes for the pull shot, and it's a bit of a top edge. There's a man there at the backward square leg on the boundary who takes the catch. Miller is out. 156 for 5. 3 balls to go in the final over. Good finish here by Chamira so far in this over. And Dwayne Pretorius will have the strike, as they did manage to cross this time. Oh, intent was there, execution not so much. No, but Dwayne Pretorius was almost 2/3 the way down the wicket as David Miller just leisurely jogged and watched the ball sail into the hands of the man there at backward square leg on the boundary. Kagiso Rabada, Soweto Lara is to the crease now. And let's see.
There is nothing Soweto about Kagiso Rabada. The man is born and bred in Bryanston, dude.
He's taking guard there, but at the non-striker's end, Chamira goes wide and full and wided by the umpire. And so nice freebie there for South Africa, 157 for 5. 3 balls to go. Dwayne Pretorius is on strike. So we see a replay there.
Just before that ball, the last 9 deliveries have gone for 8 runs. So Sri Lanka lost their way from 16 to 18, but they've pulled things back very, very well, the last 9 balls.
Yeah, Chamira, full and slower ball outside off stump. Dwayne Pretorius gets nothing but fresh air onto his bat. Through to the keeper for no run. 157 for 5 is the score now. 2 balls to go in the innings. So the 170 is off the table. They'll need to try and get past 160 maybe. And I think we'll have to bowl Sri Lanka out to win this match.
Great slower ball. Really, really top quality stuff.
Good line as well, just outside off. Yeah, just in that off outside off corridor. Dwayne Pretorius facing Chamira now. Full ball, full toss outside off stump, and Dwayne Pretorius manages to get this down to long on, and they take 2 runs to Rabada and Dwayne Pretorius. Very good running there, 159 for 5. 1 ball to go in the innings. These Sri Lankans are so good at just pulling things back, and they refuse to get themselves dominated here by the South African batters. So well done to them. Chamira, 1 ball to go.
Yeah. 13 of the last 11 deliveries.
That is some quality death bowling there. And good bowling changes by Dasun Shanaka. Dwayne Pretorius gets another snowball outside off stump, and this time he manages to get it over the boundary at square leg for a 4, and that will be 163 for 5 at the end of the innings. Good shot there. Well, I would say not well executed, but good result for Dwayne Pretorius. And will you give us the figures there, Tim?
I haven't got them, but I'll get them to now if you like.
I'll happily give them to you.
Thank you, Mr. Gear.
Yeah, okay, no problem at all. So, so South Africa, 163 for 5. The highlights from the batting point of view were strong from the South African top order. Quinton, 36 of 32. Reza Hendricks, 38 of 30. Aiden Markram, 48 of 33. Heinrich Klaassen was LBW. Tikshana, he for just 2. David Miller, a lovely little cameo, 26 of 15, but probably left slightly too early. The 2 batsmen not out. Dwayne Pretorius, 10, and Kagiso Rabada, 0. The bowlers, lots and lots used. Dushmanta Chimera, he bowled 4 for 35, took 1 wicket. Dananjaya De Silva, 2 of 12, with no wickets. I would have thought he would have bowled a little bit more. Mahesh Tikshana, this man that everyone is talking of, not great, 1 for 35 of 4. Akira Dananjaya, 3 for 3 overs, 28, no wickets. Hasaranga De Silva, he was 2 for 23 of his 4, probably the pick of the bowlers. Chamika Kurunaratne was expensive, 12 runs and over, 2 for 24 with no wickets. And Dustin Shanaka, just the 1 over and 6 runs. So South Africa, 163 for 5, run rate of a little bit of over 8 runs and over. I would say that this is below par. I would suspect that the ball is in Sri Lanka's court. This is theirs to lose.
Yep. Thank you for listening, everybody. Thank you. That was lots of fun. Tim, let's hear from you.
I think that was probably, as Simon was saying, 10 to 15 short. But I thought we did get a decent score. We have got something to bowl at, and it does give us at least a chance in this game, where I wasn't sure we would get to 150 at one stage.
Right, so if you are listening to us on YouTube, anywhere where you can see our pictures, we're going to go silent for 20 minutes while we have the break, 25 minutes, I think it is these days. If you are listening to us on TuneIn or on our 1WSR.com platform, you'll listen to some archives. I think we're still playing this one test from England about 2 years ago that we happened to win, so we just played over and over and over again. So that's what's happening, and we will see you again at round about 5:30 South African time. You guys stay well.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Well, welcome back, and it looks like shorter break than I think we were expecting. Bjorn Fortuin is going to be opening the bowling for South
That's
Africa.
interesting.
Although Chris did point out, I think that that he has generally opened whenever he's in the team, and we only use Aiden Markram when there's no one else.
Oh,
So
we really need to find an off spinner somewhere. Well, I say the Proteas need to find an off spinner somewhere. We have to keep the illusion of impartiality.
oh no, there's no illusion of impartiality.
Dinesh Chandimal and Avishka Fernando will be opening the batting. Back to it. As you said,
so are you? I'm about a minute ahead of you, aren't I? So you're going to have to do ball by ball.
Yeah.
Okay, so you'll give me, as Bjorn Fortuin comes past the umpire for his second ball of the innings, please.
Okay. He still hasn't bowled the first ball on my side.
So just to remind everyone, South Africa scored 163 for 5 off their 20 overs, and our gut feel is that is below par, but it remains to be seen.
We told Paul that he can continue sleeping because he said wake him up when we pass 170. As Bjorn Fortuin runs in for his first ball, and it is worked to cover for no run. Just a 4 defensive from Avishka Fernando. With the start they had, I thought that 170, 180 was on. But we'll see how that goes. As Bjorn Fortuin comes in for his second ball, worked to mid-wicket for a single. Score moves on to 1 for no loss. Sri Lanka off the mark. Avishka off the mark. They have to get 164. This is actually game on, I think.
I think this is going to be close. I think my concern is that if we're struggling to edge past Sri Lanka, this does not bode well for our prospects at the World Cup. Where Sri Lanka, past glories aside, are definitely not one of the gun teams for that World Cup.
Fortuin in for his third ball, appeal for LBW and not given, and I don't think they're going to go up. It was appeal in hope, just loosening the vocal cords, getting the voice box nice and loose for appeal later on. It looked like it was going way down leg. So
very good body language from the batsman as well, indicating that it was going down leg. I thought that it looked kind of close to me.
Fourth ball in, and another appeal going down leg again. And again appealing in hope. Going way down leg. You could read it from Quinton de Kock's movement as Fortuin comes in for his first ball, and this one is worked to the leg side. It's square leg, runs across, and they take a single. 2 for no loss off the 5 balls. I'm a bit worried about our bowling lineup because I think that as Bjorn Fortuin comes in for the last ball of the over and leading edge straight to mid off for no run. I'm worried about our bowling lineup because I don't think that we have the penetration that is needed to get wickets up front, because KG seems to be in T20 specifically, as just based on his IPL form, is a hell of a death bowler. But up front, he does go for runs. So I think that if the Proteas keep bowling without penetration, that can give teams a great setup to finish big. But if you only have one finishing bowler in Kagiso Rabada, you guys are going to get sent. We just hope that Tabraiz Shamsi can come good for us time and time again. As we look at the T20 squad, that is a very hot topic on Twitter at the moment. As Pretorius comes in for the first ball of the second over, and this is worked to third man for 1. All right, Tim.
Certainly. Sorry about that.
No problem. At 147, jeepers Christ.
I genuinely thought we had a longer break than that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so did I. I'm struggling to actually figure out exactly how long the breaks are in T20 internationals.
I apologize. There was Anik Nokia in. Okay. That makes sense for 147. In for his second ball, steaming in, and worked to backward point by Avishka Fernando for a single 4 for no loss after 1.2 overs.
Yeah, I mean, it's a weird sort of one. That's I'm in two minds as to what role express pace plays in T20s. I mean, certainly when Del Steyn was going well, he was unplayable. But then I've also seen AB de Villiers hit 23 runs off him in the IPL.
Yeah. Nokia in for the third ball, worked straight to mid-off for no run. As we see Temba Bavuma, his hand not in a cast, was looking pretty happy with himself. He will be back in time for the World Cup, we hear. The role of express, but you have to be express pace. I mean, 150 plus to actually do, especially on subcontinental wickets where the majority of it is happening. Nokia in for the fourth ball, straight to point for no run. Score remains 4 for no loss. Bjorn Mulder.
You also have to have the ability to do changes of pace. So it's all very well.
Yes.
If you're doing 150 every ball, it doesn't matter how quick that is. The batsman is eventually going to get used to that and get inside the ball and hit you over the top.
And as Nokia comes in for the fifth ball of his over, runs in, drops it short of a length, and worked to point for no run. My biggest thing with especially with the new balls is that you found out that the new white balls don't swing as much as they used to. I remember when South Africa made their return to international cricket in 1992, Alan Donald wouldn't take the new ball because it swung too much. And we're not finding that now, especially with each side having its. Is it still the same rule where each end it has its own ball? And this is a short ball from Anrik Nokia, and it's 4 byes over the keeper's head. I don't know what he was thinking. 141 k's an hour. The score moves over to 9 for no loss. That was actually a wasted ball. I don't know why it was not given a wide. Was it given a wide?
Oh, it didn't even cross the bat. I thought he had rammed it, but he didn't. It just
he
smashed in and lifted, and a properly unimpressed looking Quinny. 4 byes. I mean, no one
wide.
ever.
It was given wide.
Wides, yeah.
And so Nokia in for the last ball, hopefully of this over, and Avishka gives himself some room. Steps towards the bowler and smashes it through mid-off for 4. Score moves to 13 for no loss. That was a proper shot, and it was proper pace, and he gave him no respect. Anrik Nokia, 11 of his first over.
Poor fielding. It just went straight through the fielder.
Hey,
he smoked
hi
it.
guys.
But
He dove over that.
All good, Ruth.
Yeah,
all good.
Hello, how are you? Sorry, I'm just a bit late.
Good. Just a tad. You missed quite an exciting second over.
Sorry. I thought it was only starting at 25 past. 2 hours already finished.
So did we. You need to follow the group, guy.
Yeah, sorry.
Where are you on the screen? Bjorn Fontaine coming in for the first ball of his next over, and it is swept fine down to long stop behind the keeper, and they take 2 The score moves on to 15.
A replay of the boundary of Nokia has just gone over.
Oh.
Bloemfontein is coming in for his second delivery now.
Okay.
So, that's
I've still got the
top
replay,
shot. Okay, so I'm a bit behind you guys. A bit in front.
Bloemfontein
I'll
in
pause.
for his second ball and smashed straight back past the bowler, all along the ground. Dive attempt and well stopped by Aiden Markham on the boundary.
Yes.
Well done.
Indeed.
Well done. Great stop. Score moves on to 17 for no loss after 2.2. Oh, everything's happening so fast.
Talking about World Cup squads and all, you can't help but feel a little bit sorry for Fontaine in a way. Huge amount of pressure on him to perform in this series, to show that he can, do his thing.
That he deserves his spot. The posts you've been doing on Twitter have been Fontaine in for his third ball and just neatly clipped to the leg side for a single. The posts you've been saying, the especially concerning Imran Tahir and his relationship with Cricket South Africa is so upsetting.
My word. Dude,
not just that. Oh no.
Depressing as hell.
Fontaine in for his third ball, and he comes forward, uses his feet, and beaten in the flight. Well done, read him there. It's not just that. Them saying that Puff du Plessis wanted too much. And this one, the fifth ball of the over, just worked to mid on, and a misfield, and they're going to get two. There was a shy at the stumps. And they're going to get to the. They just got the one.
This is really poor. This is such village cricket. Honestly,
They didn't. They could have played it safe and just tossed it.
The running, the misfield.
Fontaine in for the last ball. Worked to the leg side, and he by Fernando, and he gets a single. 20 for no loss after 3. The thing is, they were blaming the Faf not being in because he does not have a national contract. So Faf du Plessis would have wanted too much money to play for South Africa. However, in the past 18 months, we have our director of cricket who gave himself 2 pay increases in 18 months, but they can't afford Faf du Plessis. Oh no! All they should have done is just keep these players on a retainer, and then personal issues probably between our director of cricket, who we shall not name, and Chris Morris have also kept him out of the side. Oh, that is insane.
I was so disappointed hearing Morris not in the team.
Kagiso Rabada in for his first ball of the fourth over, and swish and a miss over the stumps, 138 k's an hour, but keeping bowling within himself.
We can see
and
probably
that went over everything.
The Sri Lanka attack is probably going to be to attack the South African bowlers and take the attack to South Africa and not get this
there's
down
no
to
reason
the
to.
over.
Yeah, there's no reason to leave any doubt. Kagiso Rabada in for the second ball of the fourth over, and gently nudged to third man for a single.
Was that the slow one? I think it might have been.
Yeah.
It looks a lot slower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're not putting the speed up, but it looked a change-up ball. I'm super disappointed in our selectors, just in general.
Well, Paul and I on our podcast have said it for weeks now. Communication. It's just appalling communication.
Kagiso Rabada into Chandamal, and this is dropped short and smoked to a vacant cow corner, and there is good fielding on the boundary, and they cut it down to 2?
2, I think. Yeah, I think it's
2.
They
got a 2. So 23 for no loss after 3.3. But as Tim was saying, the communication with players, where you say with the convener of selectors saying, I didn't speak to so and so, or I didn't speak to the coach. The players saying they didn't speak to the coach. As Kagiso Rabada comes in for the fourth ball, and this was up in the air. There are 3 men under it. There's a bit of a stutter and dropped.
Aiden
Backward point. Aiden Markram just as we were saying that you deserve to be in the side, you put one down. They take a single. They take 25 for no loss. That's how long the ball was in the air. It came down with ice on it, running back, and straight through his hands. You hate to see it.
We can't say it's an easy catch, but
no, it wasn't an easy catch at all. It was going over his shoulder. Kagiso Rabada is looking at him.
Professional cricket, you expect him to take that.
Yes, at this level, you expect him to take it. That's the thing. That's the thing.
Kagiso Rabada in for the fifth ball, a full toss, and worked down to mid on for a single. It's one of those moments where a school coach would be asking the fielder at mid-on, are you saving one or are you saving four? Boy, make up your mind. That is a perfect, that was the impression of my under-15 coach.
So far, the last two overs.
KG in for the last ball of the fourth over and worked straight to a deep-ish mid-on who is, I don't know what he's saving, and they take a single, and that is 7 off the over. Sri Lanka moved to 27 for no loss after 4. They seem to be on par. Avishka on 10 and Chandimal on 12 of 13.
At the moment, you can't see anything other than a Sri Lankan victory. At the moment, it just looks.
Yeah, I was saying that.
Way.
Yeah, I was saying to Simon that our bowling attack at the moment looks like it's lacking penetration, and Anik Nokia seems to be continuing as they show the provisional squad of the Sri Lankan T20 World Cup team, and it looks like a very youngish squad,
but a very talented squad as well.
A very talented, yeah.
And I think it's a lot more balanced than the South African team. If you look at a lot more bowling options, a lot more batting options as well. Looks very.
As Nokia comes in for the first ball on the leg side, worked down to deep backward square for a single. Score moves on to 28 for no loss after 4.1.
Sri Lanka have picked a squad for the conditions for the World Cup.
Exactly.
South Africa have picked a squad for I don't know what. I don't know.
No, but like I mentioned in the group that as Anik Nokia comes in for the second ball, runs in and outside off, worked on the bounce to Gully, and there is no run. 146 k's an hour. South Africa, it seems as if have no plan to win this World Cup, and there is another one next year. So they are experimenting with this team to see if this team can go through or get players that have the experience to go through to play to the next World Cup. And as Anik Nokia comes in for the third ball, and nearly takes Anik Nokia's head off as it smashed straight back past him for 4. Anik Nokia, it's because he shaved his moustache and he doesn't have it's not as threatening, but that nearly took his head off. Didn't have time to get his hands up even. That was close.
If I'm not mistaken,
he smoked it.
The batsman
score moved on to 32 for no loss. That was so close.
The batsman says sorry, like a tennis player does. Tennis player does when the ball hits the net and goes over.
My fault. I'm so sorry. Anik Nokia in for the fourth ball of the over. In the block hole, this one couldn't get underneath it, and it is just played back to the bowler for no run. That was close to. They're showing a why? The Yorker is a very good, difficult ball to bowl. I think we've established this, and then Anik Nokia pretends to want to throw the ball back in. But that was a very good Yorker.
Top quality.
My thing has always been people always think Yorker should only be back, should be in for the death overs, but I always been one to think that it should be, used for the entire game, not just in the not necessarily in the power play because you want a bit of swing, but a lot you should use it in the middle overs as well, not just in the end where it's death overs. Because it's if you get it right and you practice it a lot, it's a very effective ball, and you're not going to score off it.
Yeah.
So
Anurk Nokia in for the fifth ball of the over, drops it short of a length and hoiked to mid wicket for no run. Score remains 32 for no loss. As Anurk Nokia comes in for the last ball of the fifth over. Oh, full again in the block hole and straight to a wideish mid on. Mid wicket, sorry, for no run. Mid wicket and mid on are pretty close together, a huge gap at square leg, and now is the time to take a break. Okay, so yeah, like it's insane. The some of the selections, I feel that they are. For the conditions. You shouldn't really be going with 3 frontline fast bowlers, and it makes no sense to me. Yes, yes.
So you would have thought it would have been a lot more spinners. I would have thought, what's his name, George Lind would have been in the playing team and not in the reserves.
Yeah,
especially what he's done for T20 cricket. So. It's a very big shock to me to see him as a reserve.
As Kagiso Rabada runs in and drops it a bit short, but it's a slower ball bouncer, and the batsman misses everything straight to Quinton de Kock for no run. The batsman was Chandimal, sorry. As Rabada's at the top of his run-up, and he runs in past the umpire, and let's go. A full ball also seems to be a slower one. Oh, 147 k's an hour shows what my eyes are gone. 147 k's an hour. Dug out luckily, but straight back to the bowler for no run. That ball, that was deceptively quick.
Yo, if that's his slower ball, I don't want to know what his real pace is up to.
As he comes in for the third ball of the over, drops this one short, and it is hoiked straight to mid wicket, but straight to mid on, but it drops short. Anurk Nokia not quick enough, and it drops short, and they take a single, go off the toe end of the bat. I think he broke his bat. That's how quick he is.
I think he might.
Are they going up to have a check?
Might have pulled out of that one, I think.
No, dropped short. That's closer than I thought. No. Oh, that's out. Go upstairs. Go upstairs.
No, I think it dropped short.
No, guys. Go upstairs.
I think it's one of those ones where the camera angle gives you a wrong impression.
Yeah.
I think it definitely dropped short.
KG in for the fourth ball of the over, drops it short and missed by Avishka Fernando, and it goes straight to Quinton de Kock. No run, 34 for no loss after 5.4. I would have gone up. That looked. Come on, director, show us the catch.
What did you want to?
We want to see.
Sorry, I just wanted to read some.
You were going to say something?
Yeah, I wanted to read some YouTube comments just after this ball from Rabada.
Kagiso Rabada in, drops it short of a length, straight to mid on. They take a quick single, and there's a direct hit. They're going upstairs. Does Anurk Nokia make up for?
The big man
is out! Gone! He's short by about 10 centimeters. Direct hit. Anurk Nokia earns his place in the team. Given. Gone. Well done, Anurk Nokia. And then KG Rabada has some words. Vian Mulder in this team. I'm worried about Vian Mulder in this team, to be honest. I'm happy about the wicket, but we've got to talk about our stresses. Oh, that was a great throw. Oh, Jesus.
That was magnificent.
And
I
he
love
just
how
shrugs
he's-
it off. Yeah.
I,
He's like,
I love
just
how
did
he's not sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so
can I read-
Fernando is run out by Nokia for 11 or 14 deliveries.
You were going to read some YouTube comments.
Yes, indeed. So Ray PBM9 says Imran Tahir is still South Africa's best spinner, and it is really bad from Graham Smith. Then Chris
We agree.
Teep says Smith on about 400k a month, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Then Ray PBM9 says Morris would have been South Africa's most important player, can bowl it to death, and can chunk the ball miles and earns millions.
I would disagree that Morris would be our most important player. I would think that it would be would have to be Quinton de Kock. And they've broken the middle stump, so there is a bit of a delay. That was a great throw for Anrich Nokia. His frustration was taken out on middle stump, and he seems to have broken it. So they need to replace the stump with a camera in. But the stump cam, the stump is actually hollow inside. I've seen how they do it. And so the stump is actually completely hollow except for the spot where they put the camera in. So it is quite easy to break.
So is that just because of they might want to put in a mic or something, or
yes,
maybe
yes.
Yeah.
So it's the mic and the camera in the stump. So they hollow out the center.
Okay, that makes sense.
And yeah, that's why it is easier to break. As you see, it just bends and breaks.
And then there's one more tweet. Ray PBM9 says Nokia looks 10 kilometers per hour quicker than Rabada.
He's bowling 10 kilometers quicker than Kagiso Rabada. It doesn't mean that it's just that Kagiso Rabada seems to be bowling within himself.
I think he might be experimenting with some slow balls since the UAE. It is very slow decks. It's for spinners and stuff like that. So he might just.
Yeah. But Kagiso Rabada also has that second gear where he can really ramp it up. But normally his game plan is just to bowl within himself until he needs to. Which is a Dale Steyn thing, where you find Dale Steyn bowl 135, 137, and then all of a sudden in the final 10 overs of a day in a test match, he's bowling 145, 150.
Exactly.
And,
well, not anymore, but...
Yeah, no, of course, yeah.
Just a bit old for that nowadays, but...
No, but he was saying that the reason he retired from cricket was because of the bubbles. And that he just wasn't enjoying it anymore, and that's very true. Where he said the reason he was playing cricket was because of the camaraderie with everyone. But when you have to isolate and you have to practice by yourself, or you're going on this entire thing, especially with CPL and IPL, he said being by yourself and you can't go out and experience the things that you used to. It's mentally just takes everything away from you. And it took away his love for the game at the moment. So maybe that as he said, that was his thing. As Kagiso Rabada comes in for the last ball, and this is a bit quicker. It looked a bit quicker. Rushed the batsman, only 140 k's an hour, and there is no run. The new batsman is Rajapaksa, and he has now faced his first ball at least and kept it out. So he is Chandamal faced that ball. Sorry, who is on 18 of 22. I think the whole bubble thing has gotten to a lot of guys, and he said that a lot of players are going to retire because of it.
And you can understand that because you take the 4 months away from home and a tour, but then you times that by lack of socialization with people.
Yes.
In the hotel setting, hotel, cricket ground. It's intense. And I can only imagine how incredibly intense it must be.
Bowling change for South Africa. Keshav Maharaj, the captain, has decided to bowl himself. But yeah, it's in. Even if you have long tours, I remember back in the day when South Africa still played 5 Test match series, and I missed that.
First.
Yes. Hold on. Don't be get too excited, Keshav Maharaj. In for the first ball. Big appeal for LBW is given. Oh, Ruth, you're gonna do ball by ball since you're ahead. So, he's given him. Oh, and they've gone upstairs.
First ball for
Rajapaksa. That one.
Sorry.
And it is a fair ball. Let's go through it. It's a fair ball. Ruth, you're going to take over ball by ball. Me and Tim are going to rant. Wrist outside off. It's turning. Has it turned too much? It looks like it's definitely hit him in line.
And you can't see leg stumps. So...
I reckon that's out. Umpire's call.
No touch. It's a bit high. It's a bit high.
But
it's high.
Umpire's call at the least.
That's close.
Umpire's call. Umpire's called on leg stump.
Yes. Top of leg. Everybody's waiting in anticipation.
And now we're hearing the heartbeat. Bjorn Fontaine.
I'm convinced he gave that because you could see the leg stump.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm convinced of that.
We're still waiting for the replay. Oh, come on.
Yes. How long is
why we kept it? Wow, we kept in the suspense. Oh, there we go. Ball tracking.
Oh, yes.
Pitched outside off, hitting in line, and umpire score! Keshav Maharaj with his first ball of the game gets one, proving that he deserves to be there. Sorry, George Linder. And Sri Lanka are 34 for 2. Rich, you're going to take over ball by ball while Tim and I ran.
Okay, so Rajapaksa only faced one delivery.
That's easy.
Runs RBW by Maharaj. So that was pretty easy. That's why it worked.
Strike rate of 0.
Yeah. It's a golden duck. Thank you very much for coming.
TFC. Oh my goodness.
Did he contribute anything in the field? Take a catch?
No.
I don't think he did.
No.
So yeah, that's definitely a TFC nominee.
I wonder if they're going to bowl Aiden Markram today. On this new pitch. You must remember, this is a new pitch compared to the one days. Because we played on the same pitch for all 3 games for the one day. So by the 3rd game, the pitch was pretty worn.
Yeah.
But at the same time, Nokia's got spanked. So
yeah.
I'd say yes.
So I'd
say yes.
The new batsman, Charith Asalanka.
Oh.
Only played one game. This is his 2nd game. Scored 44, so he's got an average of 44. That's not a bad average for T20. I mean,
he's already scored plenty against us in the ODIs. So
yeah. Oh,
he's a good player.
And we still Tabrei Shamsi still needs to bowl.
Okay,
so there's hope.
So Keshav Maharaj, first ball in around the wickets. On leg stump, and it's turning, well taken by the cock down the leg side, a wide delivery. So there is a bit of turn for South Africa at the moment, especially for the finger spinners, as Maharaj into Asalanka again. This one down leg again, and it just worked to 45. They try to take a single, but Rabada cuts it down to a dot ball.
They're rushing through these. So I love it. Yeah, we still. If we look at
Maharaj in again to Asalanka, who tries to sweep, misses everything, and the cock misses it behind the stumps as well. Luckily, it's hit his pad. So one's going straight, one's turning, one's going the other way. What's happening here?
Keshav Maharaj just showing the South African public his variations, showing that he deserves to be there, and he is South Africa's premier spinner.
This one outside off. Asalanka tries to just push it into the offside, but gets it inside edge. Back to Maharaj for no run. See that one turn again.
It's not his fault. South Africa haven't picked him for 12 months in this format.
On this one again, Asalanka tries to sweep. It's down the leg side. No bat on it, and it's a wide delivery. So it is there's a lot of turn, and it looks like Maharaj is struggling to control it a bit. Already 2 wides in this over. As it comes in again to Asalanka, who's got north of 3 to score 36 for 2. And he just tries to work this into the leg side. trying to take a single, but with 3 men converging on it, I think that's a wise decision to just send him back.
One of the things that we can talk about between the overs is I'm worried about the lack of transparency in South African cricket from the top, I mean.
As the last ball from Maharaj is over, this one just worked down the ground, but straight to Maharaj for no run. To the end of the 7th over, the score 36 for 2, only 2 from it, and a wicket. Oh, good over for South Africa.
As Rassi Fender, this is busy working, twirling his bat. If you compare the way the public knows what the Springbok rugby team is doing, compared to what the background, what's happening in the background of South African cricket, it's a world of difference. They isolate themselves, and it's just fed to us. This is what's going to happen. Whereas we know with the South African rugby setup, this is the process that we're taking. This is what we're doing, and they're very, how can I say, not approachable. They're very open to the public as to what's happening behind the scenes, especially with someone like Rassi Erasmus who loves Twitter. Him on Twitter is so great. He doesn't care.
As we see a bowling change, Bjorn Fontaine coming into the attack. He's gone for 9 in his 2 overs, and he's into Chandimal. Chandimal uses his feet and just works this into the leg side to a cow corner region. They try to go for 2, but it's cut off to only 1. So we'll have to see if Fontaine gets the same amount of turn that he did then Maharaj to Asalanka. If there is, it's going to be very interesting to see how the Sri Lankans counter the spin.
Yeah. I don't think Fontaine will turn it as much as Kesh, because Keshav is the premier spinner. Keshav Maharaj is the premier spinner in the world. Remember his hat-trick? We'll never forget.
As Fontaine into Asalanka. Oh, and this one, huge appeal, but probably just a bit too high. Pitching on middle, but probably too high. Quentin telling Fontaine, yeah, that's a bit too high. And Maharaj goes up for the review.
He goes up anyway.
Even though the cock told him it's too high.
That is a bowling. That's why you need a bowling captain. That is why you need a bowling captain, because he will just say, "Yeah, go up."
Telling the clock, you're the ex-captain. You don't have to say anymore.
That is high. Oh, that's
high, man. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous of you. It's a straight board review. Straight board would be proud.
It's honestly on the 5 pad and you want to go up for the review.
No, that's okay. Look, Stuart Broad's bad, but he's not as bad as Vernon Philander was in his day. Vernon Philander would call for his own, even though he wasn't captain. He'd go up anywhere.
I mean, Asalanka is short, but he's not that short.
But back to my, do you guys know who the rest of the who are the rest of the selection panel is besides Victim Pitside?
As here is the review. It is pitching inside. And it is going
in
over
line
the stumps
and missing.
The cock was right. So Maharaj, you don't know everything. Just
that was close though. That was tight.
That was a lot closer than I thought.
Yeah,
it definitely was.
It's a 4-man panel, Anus.
Yeah.
So it's Victor.
Yeah.
It's the coach.
Yeah.
It's the captain.
Yeah.
And a guy called Patrick.
And this one from Bjorn Fontaine, wide outside off, and Asalanka tries to sweep but completely misses it. So he hasn't scored a run off 7 deliveries. So he's really not really letting the runs flow, just drying up the runs at the moment and trying to go a bit too big, I think, instead of just trying to rotate the strike.
And what did he play? The sweep shot. You see him, guys. I made him.
It's Fontaine into Asalanka again. It just works this one through the leg side to short mid-wicket for an easy single. And they score 38 for 2 after 7.4 overs.
Tim, the fourth guy?
It's a guy called Patrick. I've forgotten his surname now.
Yeah.
So, but obviously it changes all the time in the sense that, for example, in the West Indies, it was Timber and
this one from Bjorn Fontaine into Dennis Chandimal, who goes down the track and absolutely smashes this over the top of long off. Top shot, 6 runs. What a shot from Dennis Chandimal.
That wasn't a pie.
No,
in the West Indies.
It wasn't.
In the West Indies, it was coached captain because Victor and his selector were in Pretoria. They were in discussion at the times, but when it came down to the nitty-gritty, they weren't in the West Indies. So it was just the two that were there.
No, but with regards to the squad, though.
Chandimal again, who tries to work this past point, but it's gone straight to Rabada, and there's no run. End of the 8th over, it's 44 for 2.
So I can understand the match for match day, right? I can understand the coach and the captain for match day. Yeah. But for the squad before the tour, it's 4 people. So the coach has the coach and the captain have a say.
Yeah.
But then you have people saying that, like you said, that Imran Tahir spoke to Kemba Bavuma, who said speak to Mark Boucher, who then said speak to Victor Pitsang, who ghosted him. So now I'm saying, because Kemba wouldn't have said no. Mark Boucher, we don't know if Mark Boucher would have said no. Victor Pitsang to ghost him is insane.
And now Raj Asalanka goes for the reverse sweep, but it's straight to Shams. He said, trying a bit of things since he's not getting anything. Dot ball, score 44 for 2 after 8.1 overs.
Hold on, 44 for 2 is actually they've kept things tight.
I must give
Asalanka tries to go for the sweep, and this one just over the top of Quinton the cock, and they scap it through for a quick single.
I must give credit to the actual journalists who broke the news with the Morris and Tahir and Stuart Hess and Zaya Adams. So I was just sort of retweeting what they were saying.
But that whole story is so upsetting.
But it is insane. It's insane, dude. It is absolutely insane.
Oh, and now Dinesh Chandimal goes for a switch hit to Keshav Maharaj, trying to be innovative. He completely misses it. So are we seeing a bit of pressure here for the Sri Lankans from South Africa? They're just trying a few things that's not really in their caliber.
Yeah. I think that them only going at like 5 and over is bothering them at the moment. But
this one
it's T20 cricket.
As Dennis Chandimal just works this one down the ground for another single, score 46 for 2 after 8.4.
It's T20 cricket, and if we see something like 12, they need 12 and over in T20 cricket. That's like, okay. But I'm so, like I said about the transparency and stuff after this ball.
Oh, and this one on the off stump, and it gets a leading edge. Asalanka playing for the turn, but there's no turn at all, and it just goes on with the arm, dot ball. So Asalanka not really looking settled at the moment at the crease, looking all over the place, really.
Yeah,
as
he's looking a bit suspect.
Yeah, one ball left.
Aiden's gonna bowl, boys. Aiden's gonna bowl soon.
Oh no! Oh no! No! No!
Last ball of the night just worked into the leg side for a single. Score 47 for 2. Maharaj 2 overs, 1 for 4. Very good stats. As I've got
Is there no off spinner in South Africa? In our local, are there no off spin? No. Are there no off spinners? That we have to rely on Aiden Markram. You mentioned Lubba yesterday in the podcast. By the way, guys, like and subscribe, comment. We love it. But yeah, can we not? Can we not? I'll go into the YouTube and the Twitter sphere,
because there's been a few comments on YouTube. 5 that I can count.
Yeah. Let me find the right
the first signs of Tabriz Shamsi into the attack. Over number 10.
It's on. Game on, boys.
Well,
Okay,
he kind of counts like an off spinner because he turns away from the left.
No, yeah, but he's a wrist spinner. It works different. So Ray PMB9 says QDK, Bavuma, Riza, Rassi. I don't know what he's talking about. Riza, Rassi, Makrabella, Pretorius, Linda, Rabada, Nokia, Shamsi is my playing 11 for World T20. I did. That sounds tight, but I would have had Imran Tahir and Faf du Plessis there, definitely.
As
Right.
first ball from Kibby Shamsi, wide outside orphanage, just cut to backward point for a single. Continue.
When you have Keshav Maharaj at number 7, also for Ray PMB 9, when you have Keshav Maharaj at number 7, that's pretty mediocre. We are going to agree to disagree.
This one from Tabriz Shamsi into Chandamal, and it's gone straight down the ground over Shamsi's head, and it's been it's this massive 6 from Chandamal. Shamsi getting some treatment, not what he's used to.
And then he gives the batsman some chat.
I love it. I love it.
Telling him you can't hit the number 1 T20 bowler in the world. It's just disrespectful.
Chris Teeb said that Rajapaksa coming off 2 successive ducks in the ODI, so that
And now a T20 duck. You can't forget.
And now teacher is 3 in a row. Ray PMB9 asks, is Mpo or Tsepo there? No, we've locked them in the closet. They won't be on. Sorry to disappoint you, right? And then I'm going to move over to tweets quickly.
As third ball from Tabriz Shamsi's over into Dinesh Chandamal, coming over the wickets, and this one just worked into the leg side. Should just be 2, but they wanted to go for the second, but they only get 1 in the end. They score 55 for 2 after 9.3 overs. Sri Lanka needing 109 of 63 balls.
Very doable, but a lot. They were a lot less than I thought they would be. I thought they would be a lot more than they are at the moment.
As this one from Tabriz Shamsi, short outside off, and Sri Lanka tries to cut it, just drops short of Kagiso Rabada at short third man, and they scamper through for a quick single.
Okay, no, I don't think there are any new ones. Wait, 9 minutes ago. Yes, tweets. Leah, Chris TB, let's start with that. Replying to Woy Pom. Wait, 31 minutes ago. I don't know how long we've been on.
Shamsi into Dinesh Chandamal, goes down the track and tries to hoik this over mid-on, but only gets 1 to Aiden Markram, and the score 57 for 2 after 9.5. And now there seems to be some disagreement between Chandimal and Shamsi, as he's not very happy at the moment. Talking to the umpire.
Just quickly, one tweet. Leah says, sorry, couldn't listen, but my mom called me during the interval, but I'm back. Also, hi, Anismoa. Hey, Leah, how you doing?
This one from Tabriz Shamsi outside off, and it just misses the off stump by a whisker. The score 57 for 2 after 10 overs. Sri Lanka on 415, Chandamal on 34 after 30, and Shamsi's first over going for 10.
Okay.
Cheers, hi, Chris. Hi, Otto. Cheers, guys.
Hello.
Good luck.
I enjoyed that. Well done, guys. Nice.
Take some wickets for us, please.
Yes.
Cheers, guys.
Bye, Anis. Chris, you must let me know so we can sync up quickly. I was watching live, so we have some time to chat about the score, 57 for 2 after 10. That's pretty good going for South Africa. Chris, you're on mute.
That's very frustrating. I just described the first delivery. I've been on mute. Yeah, so Keshav
okay.
Maharaj into Chandimal, it was a single in the end. I put a bit more detail on it first time around. Yeah, sorry. I also told you whilst muted that I've just seen the end of the RAM. And sorry about that. There's a dot as Asalanka, who's on 4 of 16. If we're being euphemistic, a patient innings from the man who did quite well in the ODI series. And Maharaj bowling with third delivery now. Sorry, third for me. This is my fault. Played into the onside. I think that's Vion Mulder who does the fielding there just on the ring, and they go through for another single.
Okay, I think we are synced up now. 59 for 2, 10.3 overs gone. Asalanka on 5 of 17 now, and Dinesh Chandimal is still there as Maharaj comes in around the wicket left-handed. This one is smacked powerfully by Dinesh Chandimal, and it goes through wide, long off for a 4 to Sri Lanka score. Badly needed runs for Sri Lanka. South Africa managing to strangle the Sri Lankans. They're doing a Sri Lanka in Sri Lanka. So they managed to keep the scoring rate down, and the required rate now is up past 10, almost 11.
A real positive. I don't know how many big hitters there are in the middle order, how much Chandimal will be the man who has to do it.
This one is worked by Chandimal out to deep mid wicket for a single. So that will be 10.5 overs gone now, 64 for 2. And Asalanka will face the final delivery of Maharaj's third over.
I'll save the tweets for after this over. Obviously, so much spin, more spin than we're used to as South African supporters of.
Left-handed Maharaj around the wicket. He strays down the leg side, and Asalanka just manages to help it along the way down to fine leg.
I don't think he got bats on it.
That's a wide.
Yeah.
Signaled a wide, so there was nothing on that. I thought for a moment maybe Asalanka got something on that. It clipped the gloves of Quinton de Kock, slowed it down enough for Rabada to pick it up at the very fine leg, 67 for 2. And this one is worked by Asalanka out to wide-ish mid-on by the left-hander. They take another single. That's the end of the 11th over, 68 for 2.
Linux Layer says, well, the last off-spinner of note from South Africa is a grail that passed you by. Andrew Strauss was not as lucky as the Proteas were, though. I don't think we missed out on his spin bowling too much. Oh, Strauss, a classy cricketer, but yeah, not what I remember him for. And Josie Oak says, I see Mickey Arthur's shorts at Arthur's Shorts are out today. I'll have to keep an eye out. I remember, there have been a few scenes of Mickey Arthur wearing very short shorts. Not the most flattering. He's the coach who must be shown on TV more often than anyone else. There's something about the man. He's just funny when you see him. He's always looking upset with his team. That rarely cuts him after good things. It's normally after a bit of misfielding or a poor batting decision. And they cut to Mickey Arthur looking frustrated.
So Chandimal on 40, Asalanka on 6, and Shamsi continues now. He will be bowling to the left-handed Asalanka, start of the 12th over, 68 for 2. Can South Africa close this out? I said they need to bowl Sri Lanka out, but they don't anymore. They can just carry on like this. And Shamsi goes on to middle stump. This one is a slog sweep out to deep mid-wicket, caught 4 or 5 meters in from the boundary rope. I'm not sure who took the catch there. It was Dwayne Pretorius. It's 68 for 3. Shamsi roars his approval. And that is another shot of Mickey Arthur, not looking impressed. Looking a bit relaxed, more relaxed than usual. That's a good catch there by Dwayne Pretorius. He had to move about 5 or 6 steps to his left. And Shamsi roars up to the Colombo heavens, shaking his fists on both sides of his body. That is more misery for Sri Lanka. And after commentating on the final part of that last ODI, I'm enjoying this.
Yeah. Tikshana's been dispatched by Reza Hendricks was quite good to watch. So we have a couple more tweets, but I'll also just say in the end, Sri Lanka got 6 runs of 19 deliveries. That's pretty close to a match-losing innings if you suck up that many deliveries and don't manage to convert it into a decent score. Pranjal Messi fan says, your T20 World Cup 11, Chris, it's probably similar to this, except obviously we'll have our captain back. Temba Bokuma comes in for Reza Hendricks. And I'd be tempted to have Rassie van der Dussen instead of Heinrich Klaassen. But that's much of a muchness. I think we're pretty close to our first choice 11. And Pranjal Messi fan also says, and love the accent, Otto. And to match that, Ray PMB on our YouTube comment says, hi, Otto. So you're the fan favorite here.
Hey, thank you very much. I'll lay it on the extra thick for you guys.
I think it's the accent plus the voice, the lovely gravelly voice.
Shamsi comes in for his second delivery of the over, full and outside off stump. It's pushed out to wide of mid off, and they take an easy single. It's 69 for 3 now after 11.2. Yeah, so this game is in danger of fizzling out to a very meek finish unless some of the Sri Lankans can lay into the South African attack. It doesn't look like they're doing that at the moment. Shamsi left arm over the wicket. This one is wide outside off stump, cut out to cover. Another easy single there. 70 up for Sri Lanka, 3 wickets down. And there will be 8.3 overs to go for them to chase the score. And it is Shanaka facing now Shamsi on middle and leg. The right-hander works this down to long on, and it looks like they took 2 there. So good running. And that'll be 72 for 3 with 2 balls to go in the 12th over.
Linux Layer says, I'll wait for the end of the over. Not too long, and then I can go through the tweets with time without having to worry about stepping on your toes.
Shamsi left arm over the wicket. This one is smashed by Dashun Shanaka, the Sri Lankan captain. It's going to almost gets cut off there by the man running around the boundary from long off. But it is 4 to Sri Lanka score, 76 for 3. A good shot there. He just swished that
that's unlucky.
Booming cover drive. And as the man on the boundary there, I'm not sure who that was, tried to scoop the ball in. It hit his leg and went back onto the boundary rope. 1 ball to go in the 12th over, 76 for 3. Thank you for listening. Thank you for tweeting us. Do carry that on. Shamsi goes over the wicket again, the left-hander. This time it squirts out of a thick outside edge to mid-wicket. They take 2 to Shanaka, the captain, and Chandimal. And the score goes to 78 for 3 after 12.
So on Twitter, Linux Layer says, to me, I was talking about the toxic dressing room presence that was the Maritzburg Muppet himself, Kevin Peterson. Maybe it's just guys from Maritzburg, because I think he played in the same first 11 cricket team as Butch James, who also, I don't know, questionable character when he was a rugby player. And I've listened to him on old Skalk and John's podcast, and he sounds like his wife does all the child raising, and he just sort of goes and plays golf and does some rugby commentary.
As one does. That's sort of par for the course for most of the sporty dudes. But it's not ideal. And I'm certainly not that guy. Now we see Keshav Maharaj continuing left arm around the wicket to Chandimal, who plays a good-looking shot there, but straight to the sweeper on the extra cover boundary for a single. 79 for 3. There's a lot of...
Sorry.
Go for it.
Nigel Messi fan also asked for our opinion on the Tahir fiasco. I think that's one of the few things where most of us are on the same page.
Yeah, communication and transparency. And Keshav Maharaj around the wicket. Chandimal, Shanaka comes waltzing down the wicket, manages to york himself, gets the ball out to the bowler fielding at mid-on, and there's no run. Yeah, it's a mess. This time Keshav gets the ball spinning away from the right-hander, just guides it down to third man inside the ring for a quick single, wide throw there coming in, and 80 runs are up for Sri Lanka, 3 balls to go in the 14th.
Yeah, on the Tahir thing, it's sort of one thing if you, as a selecting commission, sort of decide we're not going to go on with Tahir, he's not in the plans anymore, and you can tell him that, but it sounds like it was just ignored and there was no communication at all, which really is disrespectful to a man who did a lot for South African cricket.
Yeah, this one is squeezed out to point. The man from third man in the ring runs around to field. There's a single there, 81 for 3, 2 balls to go. Yeah, exactly. And it makes it difficult to put faith in your employer, because you have to say CSA is an employer. These guys are professionals. They've got to make decisions. They've got to plan ahead, especially now with all the bubbles and stuff.
Yeah.
Keshav Maharaj around the wicket, and Shanaka just steps away from his wickets, trying to give himself room. Keshav saw him coming and just cramped him there. He cuts this one to third man inside the ring for no run. And yeah, disrespectful and unprofessional. I mean, you expect the guys, as Keshav Maharaj goes with a nice turning off spinner, and Shanaka just follows it, cuts it out to deep extra cover for a single. You know, you expect these guys to be fit and ready when they're selected. You expect them to produce when they get selected, and then you as an administrator, as a pencil pusher, you don't do what's expected of you. So, you know, that's very disappointing. It's really not on, and I hope that somehow the mess gets sorted out, because it seems to go from one crisis to the next, the CSA guys. And it's unfortunate. But that's what we have. That's we've seen worse crises, self-manufactured or self-inflicted wounds from other cricketing authorities across the world, and they managed to sort it out. Yeah,
there don't seem to be too many well-run cricket authorities at the moment. Everyone's got their own problems.
Dwayne Pretorius into the attack, full on leg stump, and just clipped out to deep mid wicket for a single by that was Dasun Shanaka, and it will be, I think it was, let me just check that. That was Dinesh Chandimal, and it will be Dasun Shanaka facing the second delivery. No, this is Chandimal facing Dwayne Pretorius now. He clips this out off his pads, once again full on leg stump, out to wide of mid of long on, and they take another single. So the captain, Dasun Shanaka, is on strike now. He is on 12. Dinesh Chandimal approaching his half century, 44 of 37, 84 for 3. Dwayne Pretorius, a lapse or ramp shot attempted by Dasun Shanaka, and Quinton de Kock manages to get in the way of that ball, and it looks like it clipped him nastily as Shanaka stepped across his off stump to try and give himself room for the ramp shot, but the ball just misses everything and strikes Quinton de Kock on the wrist there. Dwayne Pretorius coming in again, and this one is pulled by Shanaka, and it's dropped at backward square leg by, I'm not sure who, it's Rian Mulder.
Yeah.
It was a difficult catch, diving forward, running forward and diving forward to try and get to that ball. Shanaka definitely not getting a hold of all of that. I think Mulder misjudging the flight of the ball a little bit, and the ball just bounces short of him. Dwayne Pretorius is not impressed. He comes in again over the wicket, right-handed to the right-handed Shanaka, and this time under edge onto Quinton de Kock's thigh, and he takes another knock for the team. They take a single to the Sri Lankans, and that score moves on to, that was a bien lummy, as we say. That was like a dead leg. They're
like
on to just
iPads when he's wicket keeping as well.
Yeah, just above the knee of the right knee of Quinton de Kock, and now Dasun Shanaka faces again. He cuts this one off the back foot out to the point boundary where there is a sweeper, misfield, but collected before the ball goes over the boundary, and they take 88 for 3 after 14. A lot of work to do here for Sri Lanka. They need
more than 2 runs a ball.
Yeah.
All the way up to 12.66 now is the required rate. A few tweets. Pranjal Messi fan says, why is Maharaj batting at 7? And then the World T20, who will bat at number 7 and 8? Today it was Kagiso Rabada. That does seem to be the way that they're going, which is surprising to me, because I think Kashav has decent domestic numbers, and Bjorn Fortuin is sort of billed as an all-rounder. So that I guess maybe they think Rabada's a 6-hitter. He can come and bite it, and he's got good technique and just long levers so he can have a swing at it.
Yeah, but with Nortje and Shamsi in the team, you're batting up to 9. And sort of, so Fortuin and Rabada are sort of semi-tail enders. They can bat, but not really. It'll be interesting to see which way they go. But I think this squad or this team today is quite close to the full strength team. Bjorn Fortuin left arm around the wicket. This one is smashed straight down the ground, and there's not enough time for mid-off and mid-on to converge on that one. Good shot there from Chandimal. The score moves to 92 for 3 after 14.1 overs. So still mathematically possible for Sri Lanka, but
every time they don't get 2, that run rate's just going to go up. Linux Layer says, if I had children, I'd surely have them participate in my life and hobbies. Nothing better than for 6-year-olds nothing better for 6-year-olds than to play World War II board games with over 200 pages of rules that meticulously govern what happened when you massacre prisoners of war.
So this one is played off the toes of Chandimal as he reaches his 50 with the ball that goes to wide of long on, and they go through for a single. He gets to his half century. 93 for 3 is the score. Leah, trying to teach my children Monopoly was hard enough. I think they're just getting it now as they're moving into double figure ages. But it was quite a good luck with that. Bjorn Fortuin around the wicket, dropped it short as he saw Shanaka coming down the wicket, and they take a single. 94 for 3. 3 balls to go in the 15th. And Chandimal is back on strike after reaching his 50. Dasun Shanaka is on 16 of, looks like 13 there. Just confirm that. 16 of 13. And this time, Chandimal tries to step down the pitch to Bjorn Fortuin, drives it straight into the non-strikers' wickets, and there's no run. 94 for 3.
Pranjal Messi fan says, a nice hairstyle. Chris looks like an early Charlie Puth, or Puth, I don't know how to say his name. It says, or are my eyes useless? I don't think, from the front it's not far off, but from the sides and the back, I do have a slightly stupid hairstyle at the moment. I've been cutting it myself.
Bjorn Fortuin around the wicket. He sees Chandimal stepping away, giving himself room. He puts it wide outside off stump inside the wide line. Chandimal admonishing himself as he gets that straight to the man at cover for a single. So he makes it into a full toss by coming down the wicket, has to reach for it. Bjorn Fortuin now to Dasun Chanako's bowled by Bjorn Fortuin. That's the 4th wicket down for Sri Lanka. The captain is gone. 95 for 4 after 15 with the last ball of the over. Bjorn Fortuin strikes. That ball just crept under the bat. Another flat batted shot attempted by Dasun Chanaka. We'll check the replay now. He comes down the wicket, Yorks himself, and the ball just sneaks through between bat and pad. There might have been a bit of an inside edge there, but Dasun Chanaka is gone for 16 off 14. Sure. How many batters have Sri Lanka got left? Can they put on Can they open the taps and reach the score? I don't think so. They've got 5 overs to go.
A pretty amazing display from them. I mean, Dhananjaya De Silva, I guess, is a recognized player on the side, and Hasaranga can sort of do both. But yeah, they both have to place almost the innings of their T20 careers thus far to get this total. We've got a few YouTube comments as well. I'll try to get through them quickly. Sean O'Gene says dream debut from Kesh. I think, pretty close to it. And Nis Mohammed says people who haven't been paying attention don't realize that Kesh can bat. I've definitely seen it in the tests. Bruce Gow says your logo is blocking the scoreboard. I'll try contact Simon and see if we can do something about that. Neither of us have control over that. And it's the muted logo. It's just making sure we don't have to hear Simon's house whilst he's giving us the scoreboard and nothing else. Otherwise, we can tell you, 95 for 4. That part is clear enough, but the amount of runs that they need right now, they need 69 off 30, if that helps. John O'Gene says Fortuin justifying a selection over Linda. Impressive. I don't know. Yeah, he's doing well. He's proven himself, but the Linda thing will always be, it'll be a conversation all throughout the coming months, I imagine. And Ankit Purohit says, feeling sad for Tahir and Morris. Tahir especially, because he seems like someone who wants to play for the side. Morris, I think he could sort of take it or leave it. He's happy playing overseas. He doesn't seem to want to come back. But Imran Tahir seemed pretty desperate to play for South Africa again and wasn't able to.
Yeah, especially the fact that he tried to contact the team to find out, what spotting, what should happen. Should I stay or should I go, type of thing. But it makes it difficult to be employed by CSA. Dwayne Pretorius into Chandamal, and this one is caught on the boundary, is it? No, it's just palmed over the rope there. 4 runs. The fielder running in, misjudging the flight there a little bit, had to jump up in the air to try and get both hands to that ball at deep mid-wicket. And it's just palmed over, not over the ropes, but through the hands, bouncing once and over the ropes. If that fielder had stayed back on the boundary, it would have been an easy catch. Dwayne Pretorius looking very disappointed. Hello, Simon.
Hello. So in answer to that question, yes, I am aware that thing is a pain, and I have absolutely no idea what to do about it.
Can you change the 1 WSR to just nothing for now? Like, so nothing, and then hopefully it'll make the little bubble smaller.
Now that next one went into into the onside for another single, I think there.
There we can see.
Yes, 62 or 27. Thank you, Simon. Dwayne Pretorius onto the leg stump of Dennis Chandimal, who works this one once again out to deepened wicket. I take another single there. Do the Sri Lankans. 100 is up. 102 for 4 now. 15.3 overs gone. And it is Hasaranga, the man who decimated the Proteas in the last ODI. Well, he was one of the big players there for them. And Chamira, and Tikshana.
Everyone.
And Chamira, with his runs and wickets, got the man of the match there. Dwayne Pretorius over the wicket to the right-handed Hasaranga, back down the pitch to the bowler, no run. 102 for 4, 2 balls to go in the 16th over.
I'm trying to remember if I've seen Quinton de Kock keep up to the wickets to Petlakar Mulder, the sort of other similar players. I know I've definitely seen him do it to Vernon Philander in the tests, but I can't remember if I've seen him do it to other short form seamers. He's not that close here, but in the previous Pretorius over, he was right behind the wickets.
Hasaranga plays the drive to long off through the air, and it loops high up into the air, into the hands of long off. Hasaranga is gone. And the score is 102 for 5. Hasaranga managed to get exactly 0. He faced 2 balls.
Sorry, yeah, you go.
2 balls and caught by Riza Hendricks at long off and bowled by Dwayne Pretorius. So good stuff there for South Africa, and Sri Lanka slipping in this game. Who can be the hero for Sri Lanka? Can South Africa win this game from this position? We've seen them throw away games from a winning position like this before.
Yeah. And then Ronald Jean says 6 is a little too high for Hasaranga. Yeah, it was slightly surprising that he came out ahead of Dhananjaya de Silva, who's now at the crease. And then, of course, we've spoken about it a lot. This is a very diminished Sri Lankan side between the 3 suspensions, Kusal Perera being out with COVID, and then 2 players sort of having a falling out with the board. And it seems it's mostly sort of experienced batsmen and all-rounders that they're missing out on.
Yeah, and they really did well in that last ODI to seal the series. Dhananjaya de Silva comes to the wicket now. He's going to face Dwayne Pretorius. Surprising that the batsman didn't cross there. It's a wide by Pretorius down the leg side. There is 1 ball to go in the 16th over. We see a replay of Hasaranga. I think he might have been sent in as a pinch hitter to try and
get that run rate
get the required run rate down, because it's now crossed the 15 runs and over mark. This one is played out to the leg side by Dhananjaya de Silva, and they take a single to fine leg inside the circle. 104 for 5. 16 overs gone, and Dhananjaya, or was that Dhananjaya? Let me check. The last ball was to Dhananjaya, yes. So he retains the strike, the start of the 17th over. Now, Dwayne Pretorius is a bit of a death bowling specialist.
He's something that we've been missing out on.
Yeah.
We've got Rabada's a good death bowler, but we've been struggling to find who else can do that job, because you can't have one guy bowl all the final overs. And it looked like it was going to be Petlakwayo for a while, but then, I don't know, he just lost that edge.
Yeah, he blows hot and cold. So, that I think that one game where he bowled all those extras, and it really dented his confidence, and also dented the confidence of the captains, and it just sort of put him back onto the sideline, which is sad, because he's really more talented than that. Nortje is going to bowl the 17th and the 19th probably. Heinrich Nortje coming back in for the start of the 17th over. He goes right arm over the wicket to Dhananjaya de Silva, and he bowls him! Cleans him up. Dhananjaya de Silva tried to give himself room for some reason, stepping away, exposing all 3 stumps, and Nortje said, well, if you show me those stumps, I'm going to crash into them at 150 clicks an hour, top of middle and off. Beautiful ball there by Nortje. Perfect to the new man at the crease. You miss, I hit. Dhananjaya de Silva not looking at all interested in hitting that ball with his bat.
He almost tried to play a cute shot. Like, he tried to give himself a lot of time to dab it down. And then it was just too fast, I think. It came in quicker than he was expecting, and he couldn't play it late like he wanted to. So in the end, 1 off 2. And it goes from bad to worse for the men in blue.
Sri Lanka now on the ropes. They've only got 4 wickets left, and 104 for 6. So as a contest, I would say this is pretty much done, because you've got the number 8 coming in now, and that will be Karunaratne,
Probably,
looks like.
yeah, Chineke Karunaratne would make sense. And it is going to be Karunaratne.
Yeah, he has an average of
Chandimal
16. Yes. No, Dinesh Chandimal is doing the job here, but nobody else interested in sticking with him. So we see here that Dhananjaya De Silva trying to cut that ball, a late cut, trying to play the late cut, but the ball just beat him for pace. His bat came down as the ball crashed into his stumps. Another shot of Mickey Arthur. Is going to have some words about that. Nortje over the wicket into the new man at the crease, and this ball he manages to squirt out to mid-on for a single. So Chamika Karunaratne is off the mark with a single.
So
Chandimal will face the third ball of the 17th. Yes.
It hasn't happened yet, but only 5 times, not even in internationals, just 5 times in T20 professional cricket has a batsman carried their bat. So one of the openers been not out when all 10 wickets have fallen. And twice has that happened in internationals. Once Chris Gale did it against Sri Lanka, and the other time someone called Kyobi did it for Uganda against Scotland back in 2010.
Nortje full and on middle and off, and this one is fielded at mid-off, and they'll take a single. Chandimal moves on to 58 now. 59, I think. And yeah, he's 59 not out. Sri Lanka's score goes on to 105, if I'm not mistaken. We'll check that for you now. But Chandimal definitely, 105 for 6. Chandimal is holding up.
106, but, so it disagrees with Cricket, I think.
106. Yes, yeah. 106 for 6. Yeah, 3 balls to go in the 17th. Nortje comes into Karunaratne. And this one is smoked back straight to the bowler, fielded by Anderk Nortje. And he picks up the ball as he dropped that catch. That would have been a super difficult catch, an amazing catch if Nortje caught that in his follow-through. We'll see the replay now. Yes, Karunaratne threw the shot early and just hitting Nortje there in the ribs, deflecting off his hand onto his ribs and down into the ground, and they don't take a single there. 2 balls to go in the 17th over. Nortje comes in now fast and furious over the wickets to the right-hander, and this one is slapped straight to the man at extra cover. There's no run there. 1 ball to go in the 17th. 106 for 6 is the score. So Sri Lanka need 58 of 19 balls from this position. That would be amazing if they actually manage to do this. That's 20.
Want to think about it.
Close to 20 runs and over required now.
And Jean O'Jean says game over. Going to need some mediocre bowling to lose from here. Even worse than mediocre, I would say. And you'd need the batsman to show up as well. It would be unforgettable, but yeah, I don't want to think about the possibility of that happening. I don't think.
No, we've had our hearts ripped out and eaten in front of us by the Sri Lankan team in the ODI series. Nortje over the wicket to Karunaratne, and he goes over long on, over the boundary, 6 runs to Sri Lanka score. 17 overs gone, 112 for 6. Good shot there by Karunaratne. That was a beautiful on drive slog.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Stops the over from being too fantastic. He was on his way to what looked like a very good over there, Anderk Nortje, but still obviously the wicket. So right now, Sri Lanka 112 for 6, 52 off 18 required. Anis Mohammed says, when do the Board of Cricket South Africa step up and say that the Smith and Boucher regime is not working? Do you have thoughts on that?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't follow the background stuff too much. I don't really have an opinion on that. But I mean, it's not working. I mean, if that's the way you're communicating to players, then somebody has to at least say, hey, listen, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. I should have done this. Or listen, I'm going to step down because this is way over my head. Dwayne Pretorius comes in full and on middle and leg. Slog sweep out to deep mid-wicket boundary, 1 bounce to the fielder, and they take 2. And that would be Karunaratne. It's 114.
Got 6 off the last.
Yes, of course. Okay, sorry. Chandimal moves on to 61. The score is 114 for 6. And it just goes from one crisis to the other. I mean, when you hear about cricket South Africa, there's some freaking huge issue. It's got to stop at some point. Dwayne Pretorius to Chandimal, who's flat bats this straight to long off, and there's an appeal for a run out as they come back for the second. So we'll see if Karunaratne made it back to the non-strikers end there. I assume that was a 2.
Yeah, and I think he did get back safely. But
he did get back safely.
Dwayne Pretorius to just rebound onto the stumps.
Yeah, he got into position nicely there with a throw coming in from long on and got the ball onto the stumps. But the Karunaratne was well inside the crease there. Chandimal will face the third delivery of the 18th over. Dwayne Pretorius comes over the wicket to the right-hander, and he pulls this one very nicely, but straight to the man at square leg for a single. So Karunaratne will face Dwayne Pretorius. Yeah, your thoughts, Chris? You guys are more in touch. Yeah,
definitely there won't be anything before the World Cup. If you wait for the T20 World Cup to finish, for that you need that sort of stability going in and out, and then you wonder how much the effect of what actually happens there will have. If we win the T20 World Cup, maybe you let them hang around. But even then, you need it's that responsibility that you talk about. They need to show that they've learned from their mistakes. Sort of say, we could have done that better, and we are going to do that better in the future. To give the supporters some faith. If you just keep sort of walking around with your fingers in your ears, then you do need change. And everything that came out through the SJN hearings is obviously the other big black mark on both of those players. And maybe not enough responsibility after the fact. It's sort of half-hearted apology without really understanding what was done wrong.
Off cutter, dot ball through to the keeper, and then a nice looking shot, but straight to the fielder on the boundary. The score moves on to 118 for 6. So that was Karunaratne who managed to get the ball out to deep mid-wicket. There's 1 ball to go in the 18th over. Karunaratne, go for it. Yeah.
I'd also love to sit Graham Smith down, ask him to walk us through his day and explain why he deserves 400,000 rand a month.
Yeah, that would be nice. Chandimal tries to work this one full and wide outside off stump by Dwayne Pretorius. Tries to get back to ball but fails. Goes through to the keeper, dot ball. 18 overs gone, 118 for 6. I think with that SJN stuff, it's such a flippin' mess. I mean, how do you treat people like that? How is that tolerated? How was that tolerated even at that time, especially at that time, when you had guys coming into the national squad being the only players of color, and then guys singing songs about their skin color? What the actual man,
And we've seen a similar thing with Yorkshire at the moment, and Yorkshire cricket also not handling it in the best way.
It's ridiculous. How is that tolerated? I mean, can you imagine me walking up to one of my colleagues at my job and singing a song about their skin color? I'm going to be out of the door so fast my head will spin. Yeah. I'm going to have to explain to my wife what happened, and that's not going to go well. I mean, what? It's just childish. It's ridiculous, and it's unbelievable. When I heard what actually happened, I was like, dude, you no, just no. That's not acceptable in any situation. Nortje with the 19th over goes over the wicket to Karunaratne. He plays this drive straight to the man at long off for a single, getting Chandimal back on strike. Job done there for Karunaratne. 119 for 6. So 11 balls to go, 45 runs to get. Still mathematically possible, but now every ball needs to go for a boundary. If it doesn't,
and even then they need sixes. All fours will just be a tie.
A tie, yeah. Well, that will be cool if we can have a super over. Nortje goes over the wicket to Chandimal, who flat bats this straight again to the same man at long off, and it's another single. So now 120 for 6. Now they need at least 2 sixes here. 44 of 10. 4 balls to go in the 19th over. 120 for 6. Geez, this is going to be amazing if Sri Lanka can win this. Karunaratne on strike to Nortje. Full and slower ball outside off stump. And Karunaratne swings, gets fresh air onto his bat, nothing else, through to the keeper, dot ball. Back of the hand, slower ball by Nortje. That is great stuff. Yeah, that's good stuff. So
fan just asked which squad in the World T20 we've been most impressed by, and also asked if we were on Khalid's show, which is the Cricket Fanatics magazine. I don't think either of us have been, but I know Tsepon and Paul do, and Ravi Reddy as well, who's been one of our commentators in the past, contribute there.
No, so Nortje wide outside off stump and wide outside the leg or the wide line. So the wide Yorker not going so well there for Nortje. 1 to the total and 121 for 6.
I think the two most imposing T20 squads have to be England and India. England doesn't look quite as strong when they don't have Archer and Stokes there, obviously both missing for different reasons, but those are the frightening teams. And on paper, the West Indies is very frightening, but that's how I felt before we played them in the T20 series. And somehow we managed to pull that one out of the bag. So I'm not quite as scared of them as I was.
Karunaratne gets a full toss wide outside off stump and sends it into the cover boundary region for a single. Puts Dinesh Chandimal back on strike. Captain Keshav Maharaj giving some signals there. He looks like one of those aircraft carrier guys moving people around in the field. 122 for 6. 8 balls to go. Nortje on the wide line, wide and slower ball. Again, Chandimal just manages to flat bat it back to Nortje for no run.
Brilliant.
Very nicely done. Yeah.
And there's a sort of theory at the moment that you give your best death bowler the 19th rather than the 20th over. And I don't know if maybe it's just a funny match situation that we haven't done that, or if Anurag Nortje is now considered our best death bowler.
So 42 of 7. Every ball needs to go for 6. Chandimal faces Nortje. This one is full and wide outside off stump, straight to the man at backward point in the ring. No run. And that is, unless there is a wide or a no ball from South Africa, that is game over for Sri Lanka. 122 for 6. 6 balls to come. 42 runs needed. Sri Lanka needs 7 runs off every ball.
On YouTube, Jean or Jean says India leaving Shikhar Dhawan out was a surprise. Yeah, that and I think Yuzvendra Chahal was also left out, and that was a bit of a surprise to some.
Did they leave Shikhar Dhawan out of their T20 side?
Yeah, they did. That just shows you how strong India are more than anything else.
Yeah.
They can afford to leave a player like that out.
Sure.
And it's also fun to see players come back after not playing international cricket in ages. Ravi Rampal playing for the West Indies after not playing in 5 years. And Tamal Mills coming back for England after not playing international cricket in a very long time.
Yeah, but I mean, that is so West Indies. I mean, they've done that almost every time they go to a major tournament. You're like, what? Who? Oh, yeah, that guy. And this is Rabada, it looks like. And it's a 6 by Chandimal over deep mid wicket.
Karunaratne.
Full toss on leg stump and onto his hips. And is that Karunaratne?
It's Karunaratne.
Oh yeah, that's how you punish. Yeah, that's how you punish a full toss onto his knees and just swinging, and the ball goes over square leg into the into the scoreboard there almost. That's a beautiful shot there by Karunaratne. So he can swing a bat. 5 balls to go. 36 runs to get. So it will be 6 runs short, even if every other ball goes for 6 in this over, barring a no ball 6. So this is the only chance that Sri Lanka has to get the score, is that they smack every delivery by Kagiso Rabada in the 20th over for 6, and they'll need a no ball 6 as well. There's a great shot by Karunaratne, and the ball being inspected by the umpire there. Short and slower ball outside off stump. Karunaratne tries to play the pull shot from outside off to the onside, and there's no run through to the keeper. 128 for 6. Off cutter by Kagiso Rabada goes underneath the bat of Karunaratne as he pulls across the line. 4 balls to go and 36 runs to get. So they need a lot of favors from Rabada, which won't be forthcoming. This one is an outside edge, thick outside edge, as Karunaratne tries to swing across the line and go over cow corner. He only gets an outside edge down to third man for 4. And that is... it's unfortunate. Maybe if Chandamal were on strike, Sri Lanka could be hoping for something, but...
yeah, I don't know. It's been a good final over from Karunaratne, but it was too late in terms of there was no chance by the time they got there. Normally, 11 runs off the first. Yeah.
Rabada in again, full on off stump, and it's another hoik to cow corner by Karunaratne, but this time it is picked up by the fielder there for a single. Chandamal is on strike. 2 balls to go. Sri Lanka need 31 to win. 133 for 6. I don't want to say it yet, because stranger things have happened in cricket.
If we lose from here, we might find that Rabada is no longer part of the T20 World Cup squad.
Maybe there will be a call to Tahir. This one is a pull across the line, top edge out to third man, and there's nobody there. Third man was inside the ring, and it's just a single. 30 runs needed off the last delivery. 134 for 6. Surely now South Africa have it in the bag. Let's see what happens.
But yeah,
let's see what happens. But these Sri Lankans make me so these Sri Lankans make me so nervous. They can win any game from anywhere. Rabada over the wicket to Karunaratne this time. Sorry, and he just flat bats this one down too long off, and that is game 2 South Africa, first game of the T20 series. Phew! Thank goodness we managed to win a T20 in Sri Lanka. That's a good achievement for South Africa.
Yeah, I think we're a decent T20 side as of late. I'm feeling a little bit more positive. Can go last couple of tweets. Pranjal Messi fan says Dan Kiwi was there when I first saw. I think that's Dan Kiwi tweets in at us. It was on the Cricket Fanatics magazine show, I imagine. And Pranjal Messi fan also says, I think it's simple for the Windies. If it's a flat track, then they will dominate. But if the pitch is slow, they will struggle. And I guess we did have slowish, low-scoring, relatively pitches whilst we were there. So it was 160 pretty consistently. And there was enough in it for the bowlers that we could keep ourselves in it as well. And then on the YouTube front, we just had that last comment from Jean Eugene saying, just watch out for the Afghans. Yeah, I saw Tim Payne say that he doesn't think Afghanistan should play in the T20 World Cup, which is quite a bold claim for an international captain to make. But they are there, and they've got some very exciting
Well, that's
players.
good.
I'm really looking forward to this World Cup.
Yeah, it's going to be good. Thank you so much for listening, everybody. Thank you, Chris. It was great to be on the air with you once again. Well done to South Africa. Hard luck, Sri Lanka. We'll see you again on Sunday afternoon, South African time. Yeah, 12.
The women are playing at the moment as well. That's been all over the place in terms of when they're actually have been playing, and CrickBuzz does not have a scorecard for that, so I'm going to have to switch over to Cricinfo quickly.
Yeah, here we go. We can get that. We should be able to.
Are 120 all out after 44.2 in this.
Oh, nice.
So South Africa there in the driving seat there as well.
Okay, so it's a pity we can't bring you that game. It would have been nice to switch over right away and bring you that game as well. But the West Indies women all out there for 120. We will keep you up to date on our Twitter feed. And please do like and subscribe, especially on the YouTube channel. Hit the notification button. When we go live, you'll be notified. You can join us. And then I think I'm allowed to say on Sunday afternoon, just past noon, South African time, so 10 o'clock GMT, we will be broadcasting the Springboks taking on Australia in the Rugby Championship. So we look forward to that. And then on Sunday as well, at is it the same time as this game, or is that game starting at 4?
I think they're all I'd imagine that, because this one was also scheduled to start at 4 and then start at 3:30. I would guess they're all going to be 3:30.
Well, keep a lookout for Sunday at 3:30, the second T20 between the Proteas and Sri Lanka. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for all our new subscribers. We do appreciate it. Our subscriber numbers have really gone up on YouTube, and we do appreciate that. So thank you very much. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you again soon on One World Sports Radio. Cricket